They have siloed conversations off the record.
Off these records, these nuts.
Shit. Hit the intro music.
People. Cheesy. Unique.
Yo.
Intro music.
Yo.
Holy shit.
Yo.
Yo, it's Unique and Cheese. It's Unique and Cheese.
Let's start the show.
It's Unique and Cheese. It's Unique and Cheese.
Let's start the show.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Unique and Cheese show. I am DJ Unique.
And I am Cheese.
We got a special guest in the building. Friend to the hood, Mr. Frederick Taylor is back on the Unique and Cheese show. Mr. Frederick Taylor, it's so good to see you again. I'm so sorry I'm talking to you with my back to you, but I'm trying to find some good music to play
Well, that's good because I can see right through you.
as we talk.
Yeah.
Yes. I like playing jazz music. It's good. How's you guys'
This is a
headphones? Can you guys
surprise.
hear well?
I did not expect you to do this.
We do jazz now.
That's unbelievable.
background.
That is phenomenal. So what are we listening to?
Really don't give credits and shit like that because
Oh, you
I don't
don't?
know if we have the right to play it.
The next question is: this is jazz. So what kind of jazz do you like? What
I like
what's
the
your
more-
propensity?
I like. Well, I don't know. It's like I like my bitches. You know what I'm saying? It's a plethora.
So
I like
this
slow
is,
jazz. I like fast jazz.
I almost just ran him over with the joke, the Eastern culture joke at that point.
Yeah.
Because you compared
I did.
your women to your music.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like Orange
Do
Kelly.
you like the same song over and over
I
and
do,
over
but
again?
I was getting ready to drop you in the Pacific Ocean.
Oh,
He's like Orange Kelly.
I could
like,
swim a
Like
little bit.
he do
With a life
the
jacket
music
on.
with the cars he drive or something. You remind me of
well,
my
you
Jeep.
remind me of my Jeep. I guess. What if your shit needed like an oil change or something like that? Be like, that's what she reminded you of.
No, that's not funny.
That's not that gonna work.
No,
Okay,
boo.
backtrack. back. Anyway, welcome to the Unique and Cheese show. This is episode number 34.
34.
34.
I remember when I was 34.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
How long was that? 10 years ago?
12.
12 years ago?
Mind
You
your
ain't that old,
business.
nigga.
I am too.
Is you?
Yes.
All right.
Is you, that's my baby.
I love that song.
You remember that
I
song?
love
Yeah,
that song.
that's actually a hugely popular hit in the 20th century.
Bibbidi bop bop, what happened to people singing like this?
Yes, but
They should sing like this again.
they also had cute little white girls sing it as well.
That though?
And they was, is you is or is you ain't my baby?
Like a
And they
Betty
would sing-
Boop type of thing?
Yeah, it was this kind of way of them, like back that ass up.
Is that true that Betty Boop was based on a black character?
Oh, that's very possible. Did you
Right,
also
I'm
know
pretty-
that
believe
the Lone Ranger was based on a black character?
believe
Didn't know
it.
that.
Yes, he was a trained lawman in the state of Texas, and he didn't wear a mask. He was just black. But when they interpreted the story for Hollywood, they said,
Yeah,
"Well,
yeah.
listen, we can just put a mask on him. That's kind of sort of black."
That's crazy.
That's-
So ignorant.
Sounds like some Hollywood shit.
And you can tell Lone Ranger, you can't tell that was a black character.
It was a black character because
Get it?
he teamed
You
up with
didn't get
an Indian, and they went around and they.
It hit me late. I was trying to do something at the same time. I was like, wait a minute. I heard what you did with that one. All right. You're gay. Okay. Continue, Fred. I'm sorry.
I'm
No,
happy.
that's quite all right. I was actually interested in like what we were all laughing about.
We were laughing at the fact that he said Long Ranger and the fact that he was black and it relates to black guys having a big penis.
That was it.
That was it.
That was all that was.
That's all that was.
Holy,
We ignorant like that.
pulled the car over on the side of the road for that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like that.
Oh my god.
You said it.
No.
Oh my god.
Anyway, Frederick. It's good to see you again, Brother Fred.
It is a pleasure to be here.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
definitely
It
good
has
to see
been.
you.
So this is episode number 39.
Number 34.
34.
Yes.
So was I episode 1?
No, you were not.
He was
Who was
episode.
You were a great episode, but you weren't episode number 1. You were guest number 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I've never seen the Unique and Cheese After Dark.
What is
Early season stuff. That was before you had guests. What'd you all do when you didn't have guests?
that? Same thing we do when people weren't here. Well, we had one guest last week. That was cool. Lisa Mona came and hung
Yeah,
out
she
with us.
was
Thank you,
cool.
Lisa.
Thank you,
Sprinkles.
Lisa.
Sprinkles. We just talk to each other. We
Wow.
do our.
You guys can do that. You guys, what is that like when you two just talk to each other and there's no one else in the room?
Well. When we
Passing
talk,
some sort of valued judgment against both.
there
of you.
is a difference between when the camera is rolling and then when the camera is not rolling.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately,
We have censorship laws in this.
not
country.
even censorship laws. There's like the personal things that that we talk about, we can't share because some of the stories aren't ours to share. You know what I'm saying?
But I think if we pull that plug and do that though,
we'd be number one. But we will be disliked by people that we want to like us
and love us.
Yeah,
that we live with.
Yeah, we.
That won't roll up on you. Like, I think you really need to factor that in the equation too.
Well, not even roll up, roll over right next to bed in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's one hell of a drive-by right there.
Because KK was like, "What y'all say?"
Yeah.
And be like, "That was this part of the show when we was talking," and then so to not have to do all that, we stick to like current affairs, and we're still free.
Yeah,
with our tongue.
No, you're not. Wow, you sound like a slave on a plantation.
No,
in
we're
Virginia.
we are still free with our tongue.
No, I don't.
Whether master know or not, we gonna keep on talking.
We're gonna keep on the trucking.
Sometimes we speak in code. Sometimes we sing hymns. And then for those that get it, they gets it. And for those that don't, they's don't.
But I don't want to get whoops though.
I don't want to get whoopsie. That was always been my question though: is how did they fuck up the English language so bad? Like, if they're only like,
would you like for me to answer this question?
Yes.
You really want an answer for this question? Okay, now continue, and then I'm going to give you I guess.
I really want to know
if they're not letting us read though, and.
But not just not letting us read, but we only have one interpretation is what the masters are saying. Unless the masters are talking like, y'all need to get up here and bustle a chivalry.
Here we go.
All right,
you ready?
Break them down.
You walk out to your mailbox one early morning.
Early one summer.
And you see a spaceship. It lands right down the street.
Word.
These motherfuckers come out, snatch your ass up.
Got you.
And the only evidence left is the empty envelopes lying on the street.
They put you on the spaceship laid down with hundreds and hundreds of people that you can't use the bathroom and shit unless you just shit on yourself.
Yeah, and they take you to a place that you've never heard of. They're speaking a language that you've never heard before, and they look the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's very pale, very sickly,
very translucent.
Very translucent.
And so in our exercise here, these people are translucent. And so they fly you off to a whole other planet.
Word.
And they just start talking to you some kind of way. You're lined up with all these people that, like, y'all come from the same country, and you got some similar characteristics, but you don't know this motherfucker.
Yep, and you're from different tribes,
like
different
Detroit.
dialects.
The dude from Detroit is lying there next to you.
Word.
And on the other side, a dude from Des Moines, Iowa is lying there next. You're just like, I don't know who these people are. We got a little bit in common. You get there, 2/3 of you die. You're all together.
Yeah.
2/3 die. So there's
shark food.
Well, yeah, there's a dead motherfucker
laying next to you.
That's crazy. And so psychologically, you're just fucking losing it.
Yeah.
And then the different diseases that was on the
ships. Yeah.
They bring
fecal matter everywhere.
They bring you up top to give you sunlight and make you exercise for a certain amount of time. Motherfuckers flip out.
Yeah.
Jump off the ship.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm out, nigga. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump into this space. I'm not going.
That had to suck though for the people on the bottom. Like, no, nigga, don't jump. Now we can't go to the top no more. Shit. God damn it.
Exactly.
That sucks.
You get there, and then suddenly they're hoarding you off of the ship, lining you up. You're in chains.
Yeah.
And they're coming and looking at you, inspecting your teeth and your asshole and everything.
It's crazy.
And then
hitting you.
Grading, and then if you resist in any way, you take the ass whooping of your life. Or you just saw somebody take the ass whooping of their life.
Yeah.
And that really sent a clear message.
Jesus.
Now, they speak a completely different language from you. They're only going to teach you.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on.
What?
Just one quick digression, just real quick. Would that be okay? Let's say you have 3 kids.
Yes.
Can you get an adopted kid that's not the same as your kids but different, and whip on that kid to be like, if y'all don't act right, this is what's gonna happen to you? I mean, I guess that would be bad.
That would work
sense.
in a very closed environment where child services had no idea what was going on. So you would, in that scenario, you would
get some of the migrant kids. In the migrant
detention. If you didn't allow anybody in your family to leave the grounds, then you could do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I wouldn't do that anyway. This is a hypothetical situation.
Gee whiz.
I would beat 7.
But
to show my
I
kids.
saw on IG though, like it was a dad feeding his child, and the kid would not eat the food.
Really?
And so he had a baby doll, and he beat on the baby
Oh
doll.
yeah, that was
Oh,
and
shit.
then he went,
Can I have some more, Dad?
Yeah, so
That's still kind of traumatizing.
yeah.
That-
Yeah, you
That's how
don't
you
do
get.
that.
That's how you get your point across.
Yeah.
You gonna eat these fucking carrots. That's terrible.
That's terrible.
Anyway, so
the surprising thing, I think that would work with adults too.
did y'all?
I don't know.
Not all of us. Some of us we
You rebel.
learned the hard
No.
way.
Yeah.
Many of us learned the hard way. That's why we have prison systems and shit.
It does thin the herd.
Yeah,
That's true.
a little bit.
That's true. So,
But that
slavery.
Slavery, yeah.
Slavery.
So basically, you see Gooba Gaba. That's what it sounds like to you.
They're gonna teach you whatever they need to teach you. They're not gonna teach you words in the correct fashion or the correct phonetic way
Word.
to pronounce it. They're not gonna give you that information.
Yeah.
Black people didn't get that information until on the back end.
Word.
You're in slavery for 400 years. All this crazy shit happens. There's a war on this planet over you.
Word.
They're like, these motherfuckers are trying to kill each other because of us. What's up?
Yeah.
Then the motherfuckers that are trying to free you show up, kill all motherfuckers that have been enslaving you, and then burn their shit to the ground.
Yeah.
And then go, see ya. You're free. You're free. And they're like, wait a minute, I think y'all went a little bit too far
Yeah.
here. We like the idea, but we want to discuss how the execution is going to come off with this. Here we go. And now you're supposed to be able to merge into society. They've raped the shit out of your women for
Word.
400
My
years.
goodness.
So you've got this gradation in your culture of people that are alien all the way back to your original person, and you accept all of them because they're not accepted in that world either. It's completely politicized. Now you live on this planet. You've been there forever. You're learning. You're finally getting the opportunity to learn their culture. You're finally getting the opportunity to be with the motherfucker you want to be with. Back then, imagine some alien walks in the room and you trying to get with Shaquita, and they're like, no, you gotta fuck this bitch.
Yeah.
You can't
She's
have
stronger.
her. She's stronger.
Yeah.
They're selling off your kids and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And then if the master wants some of that ass, you have to sit there and deal with
And
an
that
alien
sucks.
rape issue.
Did
you
you
got that
think it
old
was
flat ass-
like gay masters too?
Yeah.
Like they
Oh,
were like,
yeah. I
Quay,
think
come
so.
here.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
that's fucking them dudes.
That is super
Yeah.
dark.
They
That
were
is
fucking them dudes, though.
unbelievably dark.
Yeah.
But it's,
That is
I think
dark.
that was
That is dark.
1000% happening.
That is
though.
so dark.
Yeah.
That is so dark. A gay
Slave master.
plantation master that is raping the young boys
I
on
think
the
that
plantation.
1000% was happening.
Good Lord.
One, because
something you should
it's a
call
power
Ava
trip.
DuVernay. Ava DuVernay.
it's a power trip. That's a power trip, and it's just
Well, I
because
agree,
can.
but it's dark. Okay, well, there's a level to this because white people get upset about black shit where they can only handle it to a certain point.
Nobody asked them for their
But I'm just
permission.
saying, it's just like when people start talking about other peoples that have been hurt. Like when you read the Holocaust, when
Uh-huh.
you read what happened to
It
these
sucks.
people. Beyond sucks. You weep your way through it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's horrible the things that have happened to so many people. Even
Yeah.
the Irish potato famine.
Yeah.
Just everybody has gone through it.
Word.
Without
you think Irish
question.
people hate French fries?
It may traumatize them.
All right.
They may, for some, but that population of people may be dying off.
Word. Wait a minute. I feel like I'm ADD. Ain't this from Back to the Future? They're playing the shit in the at the dance.
I think so.
It sounds like Count Basie.
That's what it sounds like too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think this is the song they were playing. Like before he got up and did the Johnny B. Good thing.
This is how you connect with black music through
What do you
a
mean?
Michael J. Fox movie. This is so funny.
I just recognized it from the movie.
Oh my god.
I love that movie.
Oh my god.
We used to watch that shit every day.
Right, you've been poisoned by the aliens.
I
You're
guess.
geez, you're all
And to a
messed
certain
up.
extent,
Poison,
I
yeah,
have.
brother.
But then
It's
you would
time
have
to
all of
open
these
your
people.
eyes.
That's the
Look up.
mishmash that you have
See,
with this issue of
the
this construct of slavery.
the little
Now, fast forward
Farrakhan.
again. There you are. You're appearing before Congress on this other planet, and you're saying we would like reparations for all the shit you've done to us. And they're
I'm
just like,
saying,
can't we
I'll
just
say.
move on from here?
Yeah.
Let's not talk about it. All this
Who
other
was it?
stuff.
Kavanaugh, the one that said like, how are we going to be responsible for things that happened? You know what I'm saying? We weren't even alive when that
Are
was
you
happening.
still
It's
held
like, are you kidding
responsible
me?
for other shit other niggas do?
Am
When you
I?
yeah, all the time. Listen,
To a certain degree,
wow,
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
not to a certain degree.
Yeah.
They always
to the
judge.
umpteenth
Yeah,
degree.
everything
Yeah.
they see on
Yeah,
TV,
if
they
we-
judge
if-
us, and we
If
be
we
responsible.
walked out of here right now, just start walking down the street, people start judging us based on some niggas that they know
Word.
Amen.
Word.
all the time.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
their default switch.
Yeah.
There
You know,
Yeah.
you know it every time you get in an elevator.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Everybody in there is tripping.
Lock. Lock car doors, clutching purses and shit. I laugh now.
Oh, you do?
And I laugh
Did it-
loud enough so you can hear
Oh.
me laughing.
Oh, really?
Bitch,
Yeah.
I don't want nothing from you.
Nothing.
Nothing
Nothing.
from you.
I
say that
the
too
charming
sometimes.
black guy thing. Try to tell a joke.
No, I don't try to make you feel safe.
I'm quippy. So,
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't. Are you kidding me? I don't want your purse. I don't want your
I
purse.
probably got more money in my pocket than in your purse.
I don't even want you.
It's a Kate Spade.
Who's
purse,
that?
though. You don't know who Kate Spade is?
I don't buy purses
You don't
You
know
know
who
who-
Kate? She died. She passed away,
Yeah,
and she
she did
committed suicide.
recently.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because of her
Yeah,
purses.
and then
Yeah.
she's kin
He's-
to
he's-
David Spade, the
Yeah, yeah.
comedian.
I know
Yeah,
David
that's why-
Spade.
Yeah, well, she was married to David Spade's brother.
Yeah.
That's how
Is that the
she
one-
became
Sure
Kate
did.
Spade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I did follow that story. But she made purses and shit though.
Yes, she was very famous for it. Women love her purses.
Yeah.
That's good.
Your daughter would love to have a
A
Kate
Kate
Spade
Spade,
purse
yes.
for
That's
They don't-
Christmas.
I probably if they saw what it
Wow.
looked like, but they're not
Nice.
brand. They're not
Well, that's
brand
because you
oriented.
don't let them leave the grounds. Apparently, no
They're not
one,
into
no
that
one
shit.
leaves. No one
They
leaves.
in slavery.
They're not into that. They're not into it like shit like that.
Dad,
I-
when we go
Even when I buy
outside-
KK nice shit, it ends up in the closet.
Really?
Yeah, but like
Why
the
don't you
most.
buy me something nice?
I will, but then like the most, regular basic bag or whatever, she'll use that shit every day because it's practical. So I try to get like a nice practical bag, and she still don't use that shit either. So that's the mind frame of the people that I live with. I'm the only one
I
that
think
this
that's
motherfucker
dope,
that
though.
spend money. Like no one else is really into that shit.
I think that's
my
dope,
son.
though.
I have to make him throw his old shoes away and shit like
Word.
Quay. There's holes in the shoes that you can't get no more wear out of it. Why do I need to throw them away? I can still wear these. He'd wear them to school and shit, and I think
love
nothing about it.
I love it. I wish I was like that.
I'm
I'd be
50-50 on that.
rich.
Nigga, you need to wash your ass and
No.
care about what you look like.
No.
You need to care about what you look like.
So, how often do you recycle your underwear when you want your drawers
Pretty-
when they get too
Pretty recent. I mean, pretty
on a
on a regular. Yeah. But like
Sure.
when the band and shit starts to go,
Yeah.
I throw them away.
Okay.
Or if I get holes in them and shit, they gotta go. I can't do
Right.
it. Yeah, I got take
Or
care of my
there's
dick.
an unfortunate set of circumstances that you can't get out.
What do you mean?
You slow this morning.
You do. What is he talking about?
Talking about poop stains.
Very good, thank you.
What?
Look,
I
well, I
don't get
know
shit
what I'm
stains in my.
talking about.
How old are y'all that y'all get shit
Oh,
stains in your drawers?
Now he's gonna start
Now,
lying.
now
Wow.
you.
I don't get shit stains. I go get
Wow.
my laundry basket
Oh my God! Wow!
right now.
Wow!
I can't
Wow.
believe these grown men say they talking about they still get shit
What you
stains.
talking about?
Wow!
I can't remember the last time I had a shit stain.
The number of shit stains in your drawers will increase in volume as you continue to get older.
I guess I just hit 40, so I don't know what
You're
y'all doing.
on the downside now.
I'll see. I don't
You're
know.
talking shit now.
I a
You're
little
talking-
bit
you're
because
talking
I
shit
haven't
now.
had a fucking shit stain in a long
Wow.
time, and I can't
Wow.
believe that y'all sit here
Wow.
like it's normal.
Wow.
I don't.
He's lying.
He's
He's
lying.
lying. He's lying.
He-
He's in complete denial.
He nasty
He's in
as hell.
complete denial. Exactly.
Let me see your socks.
I can go
right
get some
now.
I don't got
CSI
socks on.
bucket.
I don't got no drawers on either.
Nasty.
Ow! Shit, we was fucking
Let
before
me
y'all got
be
here.
free. Come on, man. I
We
want
was.
to know your business.
We was. I took a shower afterward and everything. Okay, this made me think of a question.
Why are you
And
doing
I know we
it
not
so
si-
early?
But we're not. Well, nigga, that's the best
No,
time.
I'm saying, but so when I text you early this
Sometimes.
morning, you didn't respond.
No.
You was doing it?
I was already awake. We fucked at like
Why
6
you
or
didn't
something like that.
respond then when I text?
I came and got you from the front. Shut up, nigga.
No.
Anyway,
Sorry,
so I know
you
we not
so
scientists.
mean
I know we
as
not
hell.
scientists, but I do want to know because I was sitting on the toilet after we finished fucking. I was out of breath, and I'm like, why do you get out of breath like this after you have an orgasm?
Because you
Exercise.
But more than just that, I
You're older.
already
number
busted that
one.
nut.
Yeah, but you're older,
Okay.
and you become more challenged with your cardiovascular system as you get older. So you have to think about what were some of the other things you were doing that surrounded the event that preceded busting your
Putting in
nut.
his finger in
was
his
all like
butt.
Well,
this.
not that.
Oh,
Even
with the
before that,
back was all
did
into
you-
it.
Yeah,
Ow,
yeah.
shit. The back was like,
All right, brother.
ah.
Why are you trying to prove to us?
I know.
So I'm going to get you.
Like, see how I'm doing my hips?
Like, you like that? Like,
Had you had a meal? How close was the last meal that you had before?
It was the day before. So I had
you had been starving yourself.
No.
Up to
He eats once a day.
The body is taken care of. I eat more than once a day. What are you talking about?
Are you
don't
doing
be with me
cardio?
all day. Sometimes.
Maybe that's the problem.
No. I'm in shape.
I'm
in shape.
It's just a cardio issue. It's just it's a cardio thing.
Let me see.
Y'all just busting that and then just be like, all right, you have a good day.
Well, when you're younger, yes, absolutely. I would.
I equate it to how
I just not comfortable talking about busting.
Me neither.
nuts.
I just
It's
don't
just-
feel.
Shut
I mean,
up.
I have my own.
This is not a
Such a-
safe place.
I just you're so
Bitch
you're
ass
so
nigga.
bold. It's so crazy. So he knows.
y'all don't bust nuts. I'm just
Yes.
saying. Okay, all I'm saying.
We
Okay,
do, but
how good the orgasm
we are
is
men
too.
of sophistication and discretion.
Good for you. But when I like it, when it's like a good nut, when it's like a passionate nut,
We're going deeper into the nuts.
when it's like a passionate nut, I find I really get out of breath.
Okay. Well, define passion.
Define passion is when you like-
Is there any shred of emotion in this?
1,000%.
Connection.
It's 1,000%
spiritual,
connection.
holistic, something. Okay.
The breath is at the same time. You come at the same time. Like it's like one of the things. Like you be like, "Fuck," and it takes me at least 10, 15 minutes to get my shit back because I'm like,
Okay.
crazy.
So now, fine. Now that particular scenario with someone that you love.
yeah, my wife.
Of course. There is also the particular scenario of that happens with someone that you don't love.
I don't want to waste that
know.
on no bitch. Like I want to, you know what I'm saying? I
my-
don't want to waste that. That's a
okay,
good
but-
nut.
I realize that, but a lot of people live their lives the other way.
I mean,
where it's like, so
You just
imagine
bust a nut.
right? But think about the psychological wear and tear on yourself.
Yeah.
On a very profound fourth dimensional.
I would imagine that would suck if you gave that kind of intimacy to everybody you were having
Right,
sex with.
and there are people that have and do.
That seems like a waste, though.
I understand that. One person here, his name was Richard Salazar. He's a producer here, born and lives in LA. He said the most important thing you have to remember about LA is that if you meet someone who is really, really good at sex and just, knocks it out of the park with you, get away from them.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
They're screwed up.
it's a
Yes.
psychological thing?
Yes, it is.
Interesting.
Yes, it is.
Must be something wrong with me. Ah, shit! They can't just like sex.
Take me to the crazy house.
Does it have to get to it like that? They can't just like sex. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy the act of love making, of sex, of fucking, like all that shit. I enjoy that. I think it's one of the pleasures that we've been given as human beings to endure, like that and food. It's like, fuck, man. What else do you live for? What you live for? I mean, you can have kids.
Let's
Yay,
do a
kids.
poll. Can you do a poll? Can you send out a poll that says, what do you live for?
We could.
You said food,
Sex,
sex.
companionship,
Okay, make a list. We're gonna send out a poll.
and like pick between this,
What
and
about
this.
your
Correct.
spirituality?
But what if you live for? What if all that combined makes you the person that you are?
What about your
Well, we'll leave-
spirituality?
Your spirituality,
Yeah.
all that
Sure.
could be combined
We'll
to be like.
we'll offer them the opportunity to.
Can they just tell us instead of us giving them, what do you live for? This, or this. We could just ask them, what do you live for?
You want to make it open ended? Okay,
Make it open ended. Like what is it
That's
that you
less
live
scientific, but that'll work.
for? Okay, so on the spot question, Mr. Cheese, what do you live for, sir?
Oh, that's a great question, man.
All right, take your time answering.
I don't want to be politically correct.
You can say whatever you want to say.
But I live, of course, for my family,
Uh-huh.
and I live for God, my spirituality
Word.
as a Christian, but I don't live 100% as I feel I should.
But you do what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
All right.
Did I answer it?
Kinda.
Okay.
There is no wrong answers.
No, there
It's
is
what
no
you
wrong.
live
Yeah.
for.
and it's where you are in that particular moment in time in your life is as well, and what you live for changes and shifts as you go through
True
life,
that.
and it should.
Yeah.
Because if
most
it
definitely.
doesn't, you become very unhealthy.
Word.
And you'll either be that, nigga on the corner holding a 40 that's upset,
Mm-hmm.
or you will be that high level exec with all the money in the world
Word.
jumping out a fucking window.
Yeah.
Frederick Taylor,
Yes, sir.
what do you live for?
You know what I live for? I live for clarity. I like clarity. I like being able to see things for what they really are.
Word.
And then within that, having the tools to remain and be calm, and then the happiness kind of flows. So I really look for that, and I've been spending a lot of time looking for it in other things and in myself.
Other things, as in,
well,
what
like,
do you mean?
Like environments, you go into a certain amount of material acquisition or whatever, or what my job is, and things like that. And then I've been working on myself with it, but now I'm really starting to demand it of others.
Word.
And that's where I'm getting a lot of traction with it, and that's where I'm finding the happiness. It seems that the happiness is in you demanding a certain level from other people. It's like being an NBA coach, where you're like, dude, if you don't pick it up, I'm gonna cut you.
Word.
You got to have that.
Do you know the comedian T.K. Kirkland?
I do not.
You said you do, or you
no,
not?
I don't.
Oh, T.K. Kirkland's hilarious.
Really?
One of his jokes is about having a basketball team, and he tells the girls all the time, like, look, you on my team, and if you don't act right, yes, you will be traded. Yes, you will be cut from the team, and you'll be replaced. You got to see T.K. Kirkland. He's funny.
Wow. Now, was he an LA-based comedian?
Yes. But he travels around.
Really?
Yeah.
T.K. Kirkland. I will
T
ask.
to the motherfucking K.
That sound like a gospel
does he ever do the
singer.
Belly Room?
No, he said T to the
Comedy Store. I have a really good friend, Michelle Murdoch, who is actually in this week's Hollywood Reporter. Go out and get it. It's an article about do they segregate black comedians from white comedians
I
on
believe
the
that.
Sunset Strip. Yes. Did you hear
Interesting.
about this?
No, but
I'd like to hear about
I
this.
know
But
this-
Michelle is someone I think would make a good guest on your show,
like
too.
I was looking at Spotify. If I'm saying that right, the for the music stream,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Spotify.
And you can find comedians on there. And then when I went to comedians, it was all white comedians, right? So
Right.
then I pushed. You know how you keep going,
Yeah.
and then it was like this one black comedian I pushed, and then all the black comedians came up.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, well
That's
the point that they
yeah.
segregate them, they corral them. The aliens have us
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that again. But this is the point when we keep circling back about slavery, and I think slavery is the backbone of this discussion this time.
Yes.
And how it relates to society
Word.
at large, and slavery has shaped and molded and formed our predisposition and our belief systems about things as well. One of the things that's fascinating is that he was talking about his faith, and he's a Christian, and Christianity was one of the things that our masters allowed us to have.
Yeah.
And they thought they were using it as a vehicle to civilize us to a point that we would stay under their control.
Yes.
And that backfired in their fucking
Sure
face.
did.
They were like, yeah, you can sing our hymns, and we figured out a way to sing them better. You know what I mean? We worshipped in their churches and figured out a way to worship better.
To make it way more exciting.
Exactly.
Fucking lighting candles.
And then now, but think about what they do to us psychologically now.
Yeah.
You get around white people. There's so many white people that aren't interested in Christianity.
No,
Or
they're
don't want to
not.
believe.
Yeah.
Don't want to believe, and they're like abandoning you in that space. And then they turn around and then they demonize Islam.
Yeah.
And then they're just basically saying, no, you should be agnostic like me. And see, this is the problem with systemic slavery, is that they keep forcing you down the same hole. They keep trying to keep you to go in the direction that they're going.
Yeah.
So in this other world, we are on this planet, imagine
Right,
they
right.
keep coming to the door all the time, even after they have released us, saying,
Yes.
you should still really be like us. You should
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like the aliens. And then maybe you have a kid, one kid's like, I want to be like the aliens. I don't want to be this, fuck this. I don't like that. All that. And all of this are echoes of slavery, of generational repression of an entire culture.
Word.
And we can't be in denial of this. I mean, that is what's affecting the news media cycle. It's why we have what we have as far as leadership is concerned on many levels as well. And it's why Colin Kaepernick doesn't have a job. And Colin Kaepernick was someone that was born of a biracial parents, I believe an Italian and an African American. Then he was adopted by white people.
Wow.
Turned into an amazing football player. And the brother still wants to take a knee for his brothers and sisters that are out there. That's powerful stuff.
Word.
Because he's pretty much watered out of the black world.
Word.
Biracial, raised by whites.
Yeah.
You've got a free path to Whiteville.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, thank you.
No.
Word.
That is why they have a problem with him. That is why he now has been out of football as long as Ali
gave
was
you
out
anything
of
you coulda asked
boxing.
for.
That's crazy.
This
Anything
is
you could have
nuts.
asked for, we
And-
gave it to you.
And
You don't appreciate
they
anything.
will look the other way when it comes to your values. And again, going back to our alien world. So they're lynching us. They're doing all this other stuff. They're abusing us. They have law enforcement that's shutting us down. That is the dynamic that we live in every single day.
Every single day.
We are not free, and we have to figure out a way to navigate it.
And what's frustrating to me is that when we say these things, people still tell us, it's okay now. You got Michael Jordan, you got Kobe Bryant, and blah, blah. They named like 8 successful black people. I'm like, what the fuck, man? It's like, no, we're telling you that it's a problem because it's a problem. We're not whining and complaining. Shit is fucked up.
It
is. I had a friend last week tell me that it was all in my head.
It's
in my head.
And then for a long time, I would get mad at them. But now most of the time, I'm like, you don't know.
You don't get
You're
it.
speaking from a place of you don't know. So I'm not even gonna be mad at you because you don't. Even if I could explain this shit to you till I'm blue in the face, but until it happens to you some way or another, you're never gonna get it.
One of my good friends, Katie, white girl,
girl.
going to the mall to get some shoes. She's gay too.
Word, and she's gay. Turn up.
So we in the mall. I'm picking up my shoes. I ordered them like I think 2 weeks. You know how you order them online. Then came to the store.
Right.
So anyway, I went to go pick up the shoes, and she noticed the lady don't want to give me my shoes.
The ones that you already paid for.
And I told her only how I would know that the shoe is there in the back. Because that mean I have information that I paid for them.
Yeah.
She said, "What's your first and last name?" I gave her my first and last name. She went in the back. She said the shoes are here. Okay, that should be enough. Why I don't have my shoes?
Yeah.
So then Katie seen me getting irritated, and she see what's going on, right? And I'm saying all this to say we don't even have racism only with the aliens, how you say it. But it's our own people too, right?
It was a black girl that worked at the store?
But absolutely, you're helping to build a narrative here. Like now you have your own people, your own kind.
It was a black girl that worked at the store?
They're doing you. Oh, that happens to me all the time.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
It is the weirdest thing. Some of the worst service I get when I'm out in public is from other black people who think I am something of a negative element, and they perceive themselves as sophisticated and affluent, and didn't even have the notion to say hello or speak to me, and they would immediately know that I am a man of peace. But they're just looking at me off the top.
We mistreat our own people.
But
she wasn't black though. She was. I think she was Latino.
Whatever.
But
which
whatever.
Is kind
still,
of
still
coming in
us.
Yeah.
Well, because if she did a DNA test, she's probably like 30% Nigerian.
Yeah.
Like this is the reality of the world that we live in now. That people are in complete denial of. We are connected across so many different boundaries.
Yeah, we impregnated the entire world.
But do you think though sometimes unconsciously we not noticing? Are those people are not noticing that there are being hatred towards their own people?
But absolutely, because that's called post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes, and then I don't get mad at them. I've just gotten to the point in my life where I don't get mad at people that don't know no better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
that's remarkable.
If I think that they're supposed to know better,
like
that's my ignorance. Because I didn't raise them. I don't know where they're from. I don't know what happened to you. I don't know you before our interaction from right now.
Right.
So you can't help but be the piece of shit that you are. You don't even know that you're a piece of shit.
But the problem is that holds a lot of water in the 20th century. That holds a lot of water pre-internet, pre-digital technology. Now we have the ability every day to pick up our phone and learn something about somebody else. And people are not making that effort.
True that.
And that goes back to what you were saying, that are they conscious of this?
Yes.
And
I don't think they are.
I think they are, and that fear has become a dominant characteristic in our personality profile in America, that it overrides the fact that here's the truth, but I'm too scared to do anything about it. It's the lynching syndrome, because all of those famous pictures of people being lynched, there's all these motherfuckers standing around.
Yeah,
you can't tell me that everybody
lollipops and shit.
Everybody signed off on this. Everybody standing in this picture is like cool with this guy.
Yes.
That's impossible.
Yeah,
people
fear
is what drives this society,
and that shit like that is so beyond.
You have children.
Yeah, children standing
smiling
there.
and laughing and pointing like they watching a TV show.
Yeah.
But you're watching somebody being executed. Life has been taken from their body.
Yeah. For whatever reason or another.
For whatever reason. That's why you shouldn't talk to white women.
What do you mean?
Well, many times they were lynched because they were cavorting with white women.
I did, no doubt.
Yeah.
And it's their fault. Shit. They knew where it was at.
Right.
It was like,
So who do we think in our society is metaphorically lynched for being with a white woman?
what do you mean metaphorically lynched?
Well, you can't actually lynch black men anymore, but you can metaphorically lynch. them.
Okay. I forgot who I was talking to.
Say
I don't want to make it seem like I'm taking their words, but I would say currently no one's getting lynched for it because when anybody of our race dates anybody that's white, we don't get their cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying? We get the white girls that they don't want. So no one cares about the white girls that we get to bang. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're banging them, they didn't want them anyway. But if we was getting cream of the crop, like if somebody was, I don't know, Queen Elizabeth, somebody was fucking her. I could think
I
of
think
anybody.
anyone that would be doing that, people would be very happy for her.
Gross.
What would be? Why
but
is she gross?
Queen Elizabeth, ain't she like 70,000 years old?
True, but so you're saying age
She's a
is
million.
factored into this? That there's a cutoff with age?
No.
You just said
Because
that,
if she was Jada Pinkett Smith mama, then no. Because she bad in the motherfucker, ain't older than the motherfucker. She fine as fuck. But Queen Elizabeth looked like an old, dried up ass. Gross.
So it's the old dried up ass.
It's the
part.
old dried up ass
it's
part.
The whole, so you don't like anything old and dried up,
Not if it's dry.
and
But-
it wouldn't
I
matter
don't like
what.
nothing
It wouldn't
dry,
matter what
not even
age
my
it was.
cornbread.
If it was dry, you would take a pass on it.
And unattractive. If it's not attractive,
Who eat dry cake? Nobody want dry
get
cake.
some milk with it, I guess. I don't know. Either way, I was just told that if they are of value, we don't have access to them anyway. So any white girl that we're with is like, they don't care about that white girl, whatever. That's what I was told. Is there any, do you think there's any truth to that?
No, that's a myth.
Okay.
That's a myth, and I'm going to tell you something really funny.
All right.
I, in college, played baseball, and I had a roommate. His name was Ted Desi, and he was Italian. He was a shortstop. And
He's like, hey, Fred,
exactly.
hey, Bada Boom's guy over here playing
and
baseball.
His buddy came to visit him for the weekend. You know, we're in the dorms. That's what you do. Your buddy comes over. We're all hanging out, and they start having this conversation about they want to hook up with a hot, blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to all this and how hard it is, and they can't get the cream of the crop,
Uh-huh.
right? And I chime into their conversation and I said, I'm actually dating a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl right now.
Word.
Yes. And she walks in the room right on cue, and she was beautiful.
Uh-huh.
She's like the classic, tall, the whole thing.
Did you have an afro there?
I did.
Okay.
I think the afro was pulling that level
Word.
of white woman in
I
at the
just
time.
pictured you with the
right.
afro.
I had an afro. And it was one of the funniest moments in my life.
Word.
Where I didn't have to say anything.
Word.
I just was kind of like, well, you guys keep working on that.
I just keep my black magnet on. 'Cause they just like me, so.
So it's, in certain instances, yes, there are.
You think you'd be able to
it's all
marry
about-
that girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a lot of confidence pretty much in any space I go into because I have a lot of confidence. And once you become comfortable with yourself as a black man and you love yourself as a black man,
Yeah.
the
Say that.
world is an endless possibility.
That's
of
the space
everything.
that
Everything
I operate
is
from.
everything.
I operate from that space.
Exactly.
I don't
And
believe in no. I
you-
don't believe in I can't do this because of. Fuck out of
You
here.
could
like-
walk into a Charlize Theron and Sandra
She's so
Bullock
goddamn fine.
and you know something. If you knew how to step to Charlize Theron, she
Ugh.
would be like, "I'm gonna go hang out with Quay and
And
Freddie.
she's from
They're
South
cool."
Africa too. I remember the first time when
She
we
also
saw
has
her.
adopted a black child.
I mean, you can
so
get nigga
has
babies
Sandra.
on eBay.
You can, and they are cheap.
Yeah.
And it's astonishingly surprising how devalued black babies are
Yes.
in comparison to other babies. Asian babies fall in between. That's the default. If you can't get the white baby
Word.
and you're not going to bring home a black baby,
Get that little
you get an
Chinese
Asian
baby.
baby. And then I know that they're doing designer babies with Latinos.
Designer babies.
Oh,
What
yeah.
do you
Where you
mean?
been?
Are they making babies? What do you mean
Yes,
designer
there's
babies?
a woman. I had a friend.
I want a
she-
black one with the Asian eyes.
Girls will sell them.
Babies.
I know a girl that's like 6 babies in. She
Holy
has the
fucking
babies
shit.
and she sells them like 40 grand a pop. She sold one to a
These
friend
puppies?
of mine. Basically, and she's Latin woman. And
Ain't that
then
against the law?
it feels felonious on a certain level, But I don't have enough litigious information
Word.
to answer that properly. But yeah, I think you're in a space where it deserves some research to find out, and those laws might change state to state as well because there was travel involved with her being able to acquire this child. So
Where's she getting the semen from? Like, does that matter?
I think that there's some sort of relationship worked out between the prospective adoptive mother and the surrogate at this point, where she says, here's some criteria.
Word.
And then she operates within that space. And then the deal is, you
sound illegal.
Well,
Niggas get pregnant all the time.
Yes, they do. And it should be illegal.
To sell babies?
No, I think that a little bit more discretion in society about our sexual reproductive powers is on the board now. We need to discuss it. We've gone in an extremist direction where we're like, oh no, just abortions, and that's not the answer.
Yes.
But we now have revealed that we are sensitive about this issue, so we really need to talk about it and find some common ground.
We really do.
That everybody can agree on.
And maybe I feel like a dumbass. I feel like a dumbass sometimes because some shit seems
But you're really good at sex.
But hey, don't tell nobody, don't. But I get thrown off by things like, okay, yes, a woman wants to be able to choose if she needs to have an abortion or wants to have an abortion or not.
Right.
The government saying, no, don't have an abortion. You need to keep those babies. They try to push the whole religious thing like that's God's, blah, 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 blah. But those motherfuckers do so much dirt all day long. You don't tell me that it's a moral issue.
Oh.
But even if it came down to that, the fact that incest and rape aren't automatically like if that happens, then that needs to be an abortion. It blows my mind how that it can't even be part of the conversation. It's like, no, I got raped by this fucking monster. I don't want to bring that monster baby into this world. That baby was not made out of love.
What's your opinion of that?
I think that
where's that coming from?
To me,
why are people saying that? Why are people signing off on that?
I don't know. I want.
What's the deal? With
I'd
that?
have to look up how much that happens because that's always the default.
It does happen.
It does happen.
It does happen.
But I have to know what the default. I mean, how much though? Because that's always there. Well, what if I get raped? Or what if my uncle fucks me or some shit like that? Then it's like does that happen so much?
Yes, it happens more than you think.
Yes. I mean, I know it does. Yeah. So if it happens that much, then why is that not on the table? Be like, yeah, if your uncle fucks you, you don't have to have that baby. Who wants to fucking have their uncle baby? I don't want to have my uncle baby. It's traumatizing enough.
That don't even sound right,
but
uncle baby.
It's traumatizing enough that my uncle is fucking me. Now you want me to give birth to the baby that my no, that I can't believe that is part. I can't believe that they just let that shit happen.
Why do you think?
Mind-boggling.
Why do you think people have brought that measure up and are considering having a law that would create a universe of that?
Of uncle fucked babies?
Yes.
I think because that's the collateral. I mean, people are collateral. So if you killing all the collateral, then that fucks up your money. And then also, I think that the alien race is losing the battle of sustaining and being alive here on Earth with everybody else. I think they're making everybody be like, no, you got to have that baby because we are running out of fucking people.
That law is down south right now.
So they think that it's going to be an increase in white babies because they want white babies. They don't want black babies.
True that, and that's where that kind of gets thrown to the thing too, because they push for black abortions all the time because they use all that melanin from them babies for their body parts for medicine and shit like that. But that's a whole nother episode for a whole nother day. Because this is Planned Parenthood is not the best thing. I think that is, you know what I'm saying? I think they need to reorganize that whole situation and change it to something else. That's big business.
But we live in an era where the government's trying to get out of business and controlling people and things like that. So that sounds like a governmental agency would have to come in to regulate that. And the current administration is not interested. They're interested in deregulation.
Word.
They want less and less of the government telling people what to do.
Word.
But we all know that the government needs to tell us to a certain level what to do.
Yes.
Because if not,
it's going to be chaos.
Because we have to be, and I tell people this all the time. I don't expect my freedom out in the street. I don't expect people in society to ever think I'm anything except 3/5 of a person. But I'll tell you one thing. If I get your ass into court and I'm in front of a judge, I'm going to take you apart.
Word.
That's where the Constitution of the United States kicks in, and that's what people need to focus on. They spend too much time worried about like what's going on in these streets. People gonna do whatever the hell they gonna do.
True that.
What happens is like I put my hands on him. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? But you know what you have? Recourse.
Word.
You can be like, listen, I'm gonna call Johnny Cochran. I'm gonna drag your ass into court.
Word.
And I'm gonna get some reparations. I'm
Word.
gonna get some cash money out of you because you put your hands on me. Or I'm gonna make sure if you hurt anybody in my family, you going to jail.
Yeah.
You know, we have the power to do that now.
Why aren't
know,
we doing that enough with all
because-
these black people being murdered by police officers and
Because
shit?
they're not being very at times, and this is a tough thing to talk about because I don't want to dissuade anybody black or think that I'm not in support of what they want to do, because I am. I'm in full support of that. But we have to come up with game plans to do things. And understanding the law and how the law works and creating institutions that can support us with our litigious matters is extremely important.
Word.
It's like, I think the guy that gave the money to Morehouse to pay for their that was a
loans.
wonderful gesture. Money better spent if he starts a fund that just pays for black people's legal services who can't afford legal services, where they can get really good lawyers to defend them in situations like this where family members have been killed or they've suffered a level of mistreatment.
Yes.
Like, I think that's a better way. This country does work if you operate within the law. As much as the current administration is running around and they're acting fools, they got cops waiting for them, man, the minute that they walk out of there.
Word.
When they're not protected anymore by these jobs, they're gonna get an ass whooping.
Word.
Nixon had to effing leave, man. Like, there's a point, there's a threshold where the system does kick in, and it kicks it in the courtroom. When Ali got his shit overturned, it was unanimous. The Supreme Court unanimously decided that he had been wronged for 3 years. Now, they took 3 years out of his ass, and it was a good ass 3 years that cheated us all out of. He would have eliminated Frazier. He would have eliminated Foreman. He would have eliminated everybody that was in the late 60s, early 70s. He would have eviscerated them. He would have retired in the early 70s, and he would have never suffered Parkinson's disease.
Yeah, think about
You
that.
know, if
You think that beat that disease into him?
without question.
Oh,
You
yeah,
think
most
Doc
definitely.
beat Michael J. Fox into it? How he get it?
No, I think in certain instances it's you can have a genetic predisposition for it as
Word.
well. You know, that's very possible. But I do think that the disease can be accelerated in people.
To be
From
punched in
having
the head all the
punching
to have
time.
the disposition
Fuck
for it. Yeah. So
And they did. I'm sorry to cut you off, but they did. I was watching the documentary on
because none of his kids have it.
on Muhammad Ali. They were saying in the early stages, you can tell that he was slowly starting to get that disease.
Word.
But they kept making him fight. That was the problem too. They kept fighting. No, you watched the HBO documentary, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, towards the end, this is almost impossible to
Yeah.
watch because it is evident just through the footage alone, something's wrong.
Word.
And everybody around him is still John King right there behind him, pushing him to his next fight. You know, the fights that he had at the end of his career were wrong, and they were ridiculous, and they were immoral. And realistically, after he had fought Frazier for the third time, which I don't think they should have fought for the third time, he needed to quit.
He should
There's
have
no
fought
question.
Larry Holmes.
Was it
He
just for
should've
the
fought
money?
None of them dudes.
Even after he fought Foreman in
Yes.
Zaire, he needed to quit.
So was
Period.
it? I haven't watched the documentary yet. So were they just pushing him just to get that check?
Yes, he was a huge check. That was a real check, man.
Yeah. That was a lot of money
That was
back
a
then
lot.
too.
It was a
Yeah.
lot of money. They exploited him in the end. He was the greatest fighter of all time.
The
There was no
greatest.
question.
That's why
Everybody
I don't
knows
understand
it.
why Mayweather
Listen,
says that and say the things he
it's
says.
not comparable because
that's his job.
if the system, the slave system, hadn't intervened and taken his career, he would have retired undefeated,
Word.
and he would have retired untouched, unscathed, and untraumatized cranially.
Word.
You know, the system effed his life up. So that's why when he's at the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta, and that brother comes out with all that Parkinson's,
Yeah.
and he holds that torch,
thing
and
is-
that's the most powerful black man I ever saw, and honestly, I think it's one of the most powerful Americans ever of all time.
Word.
I agree.
And where you got to take a knee and you got to
Agree.
be like, praise be to Allah. Like, I mean,
Word.
all that. That dude represents
He represents so much.
everything
Yeah.
and
Word.
so much. And people are just.
And he sacrificed so much.
I just kept
So
picturing him
much.
burning the stadium down though, like
I know. Here's the comedy. Here's the comedy. He couldn't leave it alone. He comes running into the room, stumbling into the room with the comedy. He's just waiting in the back of his mind. He's literally holding serve as I'm talking, going, the only thing I can do is just keep my mouth shut long enough to be appropriate in the discussion of Muhammad Ali, and then I'm going to make my joke.
I went to the museum in Louisville. It's
Yeah.
nice. If you ever get a chance to go there.
Yes, you should. I've been there.
It's beautiful.
as well. I shot several short documentary films about Muhammad Ali and his passing in the museum and stuff like that. And
It's a dope spot.
it is. And I think we need more dope spots like that
Yeah,
bring
most
all of
definitely.
us together as people. He really sacrificed himself. Would you take 3 years out of your career just for other
Not
people?
even just take
Other
3 years out of
people.
career. I mean, to tell somebody who's telling you what to do, no.
Exactly.
What you're telling me to do is wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was all
So
about
I'm not going to do that. It's wrong.
Exactly, and it's all about the Vietnam War,
Yeah.
which we know
Right.
the Vietnam
It was
War
wrong.
once
that's-
again
that's
changed
another-
people's lives. You know how many people are running around here affected because of the Vietnam
Yeah.
War
Yeah.
back there?
Yeah.
That now are trying to build lives and have families
That's
here.
crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's absolutely unbelievably profound, and I'm so sick and tired of people ignoring the truth, all for their convenience.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't watch the news anymore. It really depresses me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't know. And that gives you a pass.
Yeah.
What if
Ignorance is not bliss.
What if Sojourner Truth had said, I don't want to know. Harriet Tubman, I don't want to
I'm
know.
good.
Could you
Whatever.
imagine?
With this country, what this country would have been if these black people had not stood up to the system to
the
fix this
system.
for all.
Yeah.
For all. Like, people are tripping about black history. Like, black history has helped to shape and mold the trajectory of this country.
Yep.
Without black
And do
history,
you think
this
it's-
country falls apart. These people actually think that
Yeah.
if these black people were not here, this
Yes.
place would be better.
Yeah.
This,
Oh, no.
this place wouldn't even be built.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And the people want to have that kind of conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and especially when that comes from me, someone who is, blessed and educated or whatever,
Yeah,
and
most
they say speaks well and has soft
Yeah.
features. They get upset.
Yeah.
They're like, you're supposed to just go ahead.
Yeah.
and
You're supposed to have the Colin Kaepernick pass.
Exactly, the Colin Kaepernick pass, and there I am. I'm taking a knee too, going, I don't
Yeah.
want the Colin Kaepernick
Nah.
pass, and they become scared of you. Dr. King got shot in the head. My brother had a PhD. They
Word.
don't shoot stupid niggas in the head.
Right?
Nobody has shot Mac 10. I mean, it's just
Hey, shout out to Mac 10.
it's true. That is actually someone that could roll up on us.
Yeah.
Word.
Actually.
Yeah.
So I should stick to disparaging remarks about rappers that
Yeah.
are out of state.
Can I
Yeah.
can I let this, because we right in the right perfect place. I can we can.
You gonna
just
play
listen
some
to-
Mac
yeah.
10?
No.
Reparations. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell offered a familiar reply. America should not be held liable for something that happened 150 years ago, since none of us currently alive are responsible. We grant that Mr. McConnell was not alive for Appomattox,
Sounds like alien talk.
but he was alive for the electrocution of George Stinney. He was alive for the blinding of Isaac Woodward. He was alive to witness kleptocracy in his native Alabama and a regime premised on electoral theft. He was alive for the redlining of Chicago and the looting of black homeowners of some $4 billion.
Turn up.
Victims of that plunder are very much alive today. While emancipation dead-bolted the door against the bandits of America, Jim Crow wedged the windows wide open.
Woo. Talk about it.
Wow,
Cut-
that's amazing. And
I wanted to
it's-
go back to a word. Cartography. What did he say?
Did he say cartography?
It was something like that because I wanted to know what that meant. I figured you would know what it means. But fuck, I forgot trying to remember. Damn it. All right, whatever.
That's okay. I think the thing you got to take away from this is, and I'm going to say something that is really, it's going to hurt some white people's feelings.
They'll be okay.
they think we're stupid.
Yeah.
And this is the part. Still, and not all, of course. I have some wonderful white friends in my life that love me for who I am, and respect my intellect as well. And you can tell the difference between a white person that respects you and a white person that doesn't, because a white person that respects you, you'll say something to them, and they'll take it into serious consideration and implement it into their life. And they'll come back later and thank you for doing that. Then you have these white people that you say something to, and they can't believe anything you have to say until it is proven and materialized in front of them, with a check hanging off of it. And then they go, oh yeah, I'm all in. This is really great. And you have to really be able to discern between that. That young man that just spoke, he was responding to the senator, and the senator just left him so much room to whip his ass. The minute that he said that, we shouldn't be responsible for this because it happened before we got here, he read him the riot act. He was just like, okay, now I'm going to tell you everything that's happened since your ass has been here.
Yes.
You're tripping. This is the part
it's
about
a very
this
childish
whole
response.
Exactly.
Who wasn't even here? Why were you going to be responsible for that 50 years ago? It's not happening today.
Exactly. And this is where... And I judge white people on this. I expect white people to step up at that point and be like, man, that man's a fool. That's obvious. And if you don't say anything around me about it, I'm done trying to correct you. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, okay, it's like street knowledge. Oh, I know what this is. I know what you're trying to do here. Okay, but I got plans for you. I got trick written on your forehead. So I'm not going to get into this with you about this. I'm gonna take you and do what you've done to my people for hundreds of years. I'm gonna go ahead and make a profit off you. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on your back. And you gonna wake up under me. That's what happens. And they think you don't know what you're doing. I'm like, man, I got a graduate degree and was teaching college in my 20s. You gotta really come at me to make me feel some kind of way about my intellect, And the guy that did it to me, Cornel West. Really? Cornel West is one of the smartest men I ever met in my life. He's a genius man. I got to sit down and interview him. And the same way we're talking, Cornell will destroy you in a conversation.
Yes.
He makes you feel stupid. You know what I mean? The amount of knowledge that he has accumulated pre-internet. You know what I'm saying? He can just books. From books. Exactly. He can just keep coming and you can't stop him. And I'm like, I want to be that dude someday. That's my aspirational line. And he's the kind of guy everybody is welcome in his life because he's a celebrity. I watched him. He came around, he took pictures with me, whatever. But you know how you get around celebrities and you're just kind of observing. If you came correct, it didn't matter what color you are. If you came correct, it didn't matter if you were gay. If you came correct, didn't matter if you were trans or whatever. You just got to come correct. There's this black power that we have when we use our minds. That, dude, we're in the home stretch at that point, all of that, Afro diaspora power kicks in and you feel like you are Black Panther. And people just know how to step to you. Maya Angelou, all these people throughout history, people just, they bow down. And you got to stay in that lane. My
current one is Angela Rye. I think we talked about her last week. She's I love to see her body people when people come incorrectly and she's like, nope, that's not what happened, this is what happened. So I'll be like, yes, sister, because we're the only race right now in America that is clinging to the truth. We're the only ones that are still walking around shaking our fists like, you got to do the truth, you got to say the truth, you got to do march, fight, blah 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 blah. And the white people have only come around to it since they got nut punched by Trump. Now they're like, oh my god, we need to have a rally. But we can try. I got pictures of me at rallies at 2 years old, man. I got seriously, I'm wearing some Tom McCann, Buster Browns, got a cowboy hat on, and I'm at a rally holding hands with two civil rights.
Wow,
exactly.
Freddie.
I've been in this.
So is it fair for me to say, are we the most hated race in this world?
I'm gonna say I don't think hated, I think feared. And
which is a close bedfellow to hate, which can create the illusion of hate.
Yes, but what I think is And for those who can get in contact with what they need to contact with, something like a Cornel West, when he's in line with who he is, I think that's such a threat to everyone because I think if we all realized our true potential, and I'm not saying that white people don't have potential. I'm not saying that Asian people don't have potential. I'm not saying that nobody else don't have potential. I'm just saying that for some strange reason, if we figure out 1,000% who we are, what we're supposed to be, then the whole world changes just like that.
Right.
But everyone's not going to win if that happens. So for those who are going to lose, those are the ones that got to keep perpetuating the stereotypes. Those are the ones that's got to keep us in the ghettos. Those are the ones that's got to keep telling us that we're 3/5 of a human. They have to keep doing these things because if we realize our potential, it's over just like that. That's what
It just changed the dynamic. Once again, back to our alien metaphor here. We're on this other planet. We've been there. We're fighting for our rights, and we figure out who we are. We are researching our earthling past. We're studying, and we're figuring out who we are. And with the notion of we're not going back to Earth, we're going to stay here.
Yeah.
And we're going to be a part of the discussion.
Yeah.
And then what would really fuck us up is that we find out that the planet that they took us to, they had stolen it from somebody else.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Unique and Cheese Show. Special guest Frederick Taylor is in the building.
Going into that, with the guy who's president right now.
That guy.
Yeah. He's starting to, what is the words I'm looking for? With the Latinos, he's starting to ship them out as a group of a family. Have y'all been hearing about?
Yeah,
that?
well, they were supposed to do the whole ICE raid today, but they called it off.
They called it off. So that is true. That they officially called off the ICE raid today.
Because I was going to talk about that today too. But
I would like to talk about the ICE raid, and I do want to talk about the 10-year anniversary of the death of Michael Jackson as well.
Yeah, almost. Yes,
and I have a really funny Quay story that has to do with the death of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Well, let's do ICE first. Because they're supposed to be happening all over the country today. They had most of the major cities.
Look at you, got your notes.
It was going to go.
Oh my
down
God,
there.
he does actually have notes.
He went right in it.
And they're beautifully scripted as
In front
well.
of the guest.
And he's written in between the lines in a notebook.
In cities
he's
like Los Angeles,
you don't wanna
Miami,
play.
New York, Atlanta, Chicago, and more, there was a planned raid today by ICE to capture over 2,000 families, round them up, take them to these detention centers, process them, and then send them back to their country. Sounds like a nightmare. Trump said that they're going to get rid of millions of migrants or illegals. But they're only this process was only for like 2,000 or so families.
Okay.
Now, they tried to act a little human and say, we're not trying to separate families. We do want to keep families together. So it sounds like to me that they want to put a whole family in jail instead of just like different individuals and stuff like that. They canceled the raids today for whatever reason. They didn't really say why they canceled. They just called it off.
They didn't even really say why they were doing it in the first place.
This is why I think they're doing it. The same reason why I think we're teetering with the war with Iran is because when a president needs to be reelected for another term, he needs to do some monumental shit. So he needs to try to fulfill the things that he said that he was going to do about immigration, about this or about that. And it's reelection time. So I think all this falls into the reelection type of thing because there's no reason for us to go to war with Iran. It's zero. Well, the only reason why we need to go to war with Iran because it's on the list of the shit of places that we were supposed to attack. Afghanistan, Iraq. We already hit those places. So now it's time to go to fucking Iran and close up the whole thing. But outside of that, there's no real reason to get into a war with Iran.
What's the Congress lady, the young lady from New York? Attractive
Cortez.
Latina.
The Cortez one?
Yeah, and she kind of made a statement about something about concentration camps, and I think she got a bad rap over it, saying that she should not compare the two with the the ICE and
The detention centers
Yes,
with the concentration camps.
yeah.
Well, from the stories that I've read, I don't know what she said, but she does have a fact.
She
For the
does.
fact that they're in court right now arguing if soap and toothbrushes and toothpaste and
saw that
shit
this
like
morning.
that, you're like, well, they don't need that stuff. It's like, what the
This
fuck
morning
is wrong with
on
everyone?
Sunday morning, politics or whatever it's called. That it was like they have these kids in this gated little room or whatever. And
They're
I
in
think
detention
the
centers.
oldest kid was like 10 years old.
Yeah,
and
they had
have- and
17-year-olds
have a
in there.
They had a 2-year-old.
2-year-old. The older kids are taking care of the younger
Yes.
kids. It's like a nightmare of a situation.
That has no diaper.
Kids
no
hadn't
nothing.
bathed in fucking weeks, and they're like, well, we don't need to give them toothpaste and toothbrushes. We don't need to give. And they're talking about how it's a sanitary place where they are. It's
not.
mind-boggling to me that this is even a conversation that we have to have.
This is
in
happening
day
on
and
our
age.
soil, right?
Yes, it
today.
is. Now,
We should be
okay,
ashamed.
so I see it 70-30. 70% of me is very human, and that's fucked up, and y'all need to figure out what you're doing. The 30% of me see it as the country sees it is, man, that shit costs money. You know what I'm saying? And why do we need to pay for all this extra shit? We don't got the money to do this shit now. Niggas not supposed to be here in the first place. Blah, 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 blah. That's the 30%. So I can kind of see a little bit why they say. But my majority human side says, get them niggas some soap, get them niggas some toothbrush, let them wash their ass, brush their teeth. That's the least you can do.
What about
They don't even get to go outside and play.
why are you running them out of this country? Go by the legal way of the process. No?
That is a lot to unpack.
Ice,
I am-
ice, baby.
I know.
You think they play that shit like when they go around to people's houses and shit? As soon as you hear that bass,
Oh shit!
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
terrible. Freddie,
Oh my god! Do they make jokes like, I'm Sergeant Ice T, I'm Sergeant Ice Cube?
maybe.
Do they just run it?
I want to be Ice Cube.
So dumb. I can't believe y'all said that.
It's so crazy.
Did you want to chime in on?
I
that?
do.
All
I
right.
do. I do want to chime in. I am so impressed that you guys feel very passionate about this issue, because it really runs at the core of the backbone of our society, as well, who we are.
You mean immigration or
Immigration,
Okay.
yeah, and the inhumane treatment of these human beings.
word?
Yeah.
And that our ability to turn our backs
Yeah.
on that. And once again, we are proving that we have the ability to do that. We did it with the internment of the Japanese.
Yep, how fucked up was that?
But even more so, it was more than just like they were interning the Japanese. They were interning the Korean. They were interning anybody that looked Asian.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And that's just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So that we're playing the same game again
Yeah.
of anyone that we think is an undesirable
Word.
or that we have classified them as, illegals.
Yeah.
What exactly is that? But we have been living in a matrix-bending society for 250 years. We've altered our course of understanding from the beginning. We got here and we're like, oh, look at all these Indians. They got to go. Nobody ever said, let's figure out a way to be able to live in harmony with them.
Yeah.
Let's be able to blend our cultures or whatever, which we all know would have been a far better choice.
1,000%.
No.
The things we could have learned from one another.
Exactly. They got here. They're like, we got to kill these people.
They're in the way. This isn't part of the plan.
This isn't part of the plan. We got to move these people out like old furniture.
Yeah.
And then we're going to move in these other people to build it the way we want it in our image, because we're too fucking lazy to do it ourselves. Don't sleep about the slavery issue.
Yeah.
Again, the slavery issue is because a group of people were lazy. They didn't want to do it themselves.
Word.
It was really fucking hard.
Yeah.
And they thought that they were
Above. Manual labor.
Manifest destiny.
Yes.
Google it.
This is my
kids.
shit. So I need everything is mine.
Right.
So you come build this
Right.
for me.
Exactly.
And you got to go.
Right. I'm better than you.
I'm better than you.
Give me your T-shirt.
Yeah.
I am better than you.
Yes.
And if you don't give it to me, I'm going to take it from you.
And fucking murder you.
And then I'm going to murder you.
I'm going to rape your family.
And I'm going to rape your family.
This is what I do.
And I'm going to eat everything out of the refrigerator.
Yes. Yeah. So give me your fucking
terrible.
T-shirt.
So once again, we are back into this sort of totalitarian type of political atmosphere. I mean, you could say this kind of borders on fascism as well. And it's remarkable. We will ignore the needs of people if it is supplying our perceived socio-political agenda. And that is to not only bend this continent into our image, which we have successfully done. We now want to bend the world into our image. We think that we know everything. We think we're the best, and we think everybody should be like us.
Yes, under us.
And under us. So that's the point here, without even giving any consideration to the fact that, one, the construct of Mexican is not even real. That is Matrix as well. Spaniards came here. They conquered the indigenous people. Then they dragged Africans there and threw them all in there, and they call them Mexicans. And then the same year that slavery was abolished in this country, so was the genocide of Native Americans. Okay? Mexicans are Native Americans. They're Indians, for the love of God.
They look like them.
They look exactly like them.
Yeah, especially like the little ones. The
Like,
little brown ones, they
and
look like Native Americans.
It's insulting that people want to sit here and keep playing this game
Yeah.
of we're not even calling a spade a spade.
Yeah.
You know? Like
Yeah.
the same way they don't even want to, they pretend like, I'm going to go rape a slave. This woman's going to have my baby. This baby's going to come out butterscotch, and that's a nigga too. And I did it on my own plantation in front of my wife.
Yeah.
And now I've got white kids and biracial kids who are biologically connected to one another, but it will not be even acknowledged on any level.
Yeah.
This is what we say.
That's
This is
crazy.
And so that's when you talk about these things, that's where my mind goes.
Uh-huh.
And like, how long are we going to play this game? And then at the same time, these niggas got to be ready to play on Super Bowl Sunday.
Word.
If they all I'm telling you, you change the world by just black people going, we're not doing that anymore.
Yes.
Word.
And they would wake up. And until we're ready to do that,
Do
we're
that.
going to keep
We
going
not,
down
bro.
these paths.
Yep.
And the way
We've had this conversation
Yes.
before too.
Yes.
And as much as it seemed like everybody would be aboard and do that, then you got a group of like, nah, nigga, I got bills.
Yeah, like,
Right.
dude.
But you're trapped back in the system.
Yeah.
But that's what the system wants you to do.
Word.
The system wants you to have bills.
Stand up.
And that's why like all these people, these uber, super cool white liberals have been telling me, oh my God, the guy that gave all those kids the money for college is amazing, isn't it?
and then
Because these kids are all trapped in the game already.
Yeah.
and this
And then he's like, you know, that promotes the idea of, yeah, go to college, get, you know, all these bills.
Uh-huh.
And then you're in the system again.
Like,
Because he can't keep paying it for everybody.
Yeah,
Word.
It's just that one, you motherfucker got lucky.
Yeah.
I talked to a dude in my office. He's a transfer student from Morehouse to Georgia State University.
Uh-huh.
He was like, man, that was my class, dude. I left.
left?
He left
Oh.
Morehouse because he couldn't pay his bills. It was too much.
Ouch.
And he went to Georgia State because he could afford it better. And he's
Ouch.
like, I should have just hung on, swallowed it, had the bill, and the guy would have wiped it off at the end.
Ouch.
And he was like, that was my class of people.
Shit happens.
It does,
It's all
man.
good.
And so, but that's the point.
You still gonna get your bill paid, brother.
They-
Don't you worry about
They
it. brother.
they want to keep you swallowed up in the game in the middle of this hustle, and you're running around trying to make the right decisions, and it's impossible. Versus rich kids, they come from Cambridge or whatever. People have them lockstep to be successful.
Yep.
We're rolling the dice. This
Yep.
kid's like, oh, should I stay at Morehouse? Should I go to Georgia State? I don't know.
Yeah.
Georgia State, because I'll save money. Boom. Oh shit, nigga, it's the wrong choice because
Yeah.
somebody would have paid your bills. That's the world we live in, man.
Word.
That's why we are the way that we are. We dress the way that we do, talk the way that we do, and our music is the way that it is because we live on the edge.
Word.
And people don't even want to think and respect that either.
Yeah.
And the only thing they're doing is breeding a generation of young people that are going to live on the edge. All these kids that they're treating like this, going to remember that shit.
Uh-huh.
And they coming back, man. They're not going back there. They're coming back. They're going to come back harder and fired up. And they're not going to give a shit about what y'all think. They're going to be back to change things. They don't understand. They underestimate people of color all the time.
All the time.
They think like when you slap them in the face, they're not going to do nothing.
Word.
That's my biggest beef with Trump is that he thinks he can run around and bitch slap people and nobody's got the balls to stand up to him.
True that.
And eventually, if fucking Suge Knight can get punched in the face by a hairdresser, sure enough, somebody's gonna punch Trump in the face. And when it does, it's gonna come from a little old lady in Pasadena.
When I talk to a couple of my friends, they're saying kind of even as a black community that we're playing the Trump thing all wrong. Trump is about doing popular shit. Trump is about, you know what I'm saying, kind of making people that's in front of him happy. So they're saying, why don't we get legislation and shit in front of him? Like, put that, like, instead of us whining and complaining about shit, be on not Trump's side, but put that paperwork in front of Trump. Be like, look, nigga, sign this shit off. Look, nigga, do this shit. Do this shit. Do that shit. Even if we got to send somebody like Kim Kardashian in there, they'd be
I
like,
was
yo,
just about to say that because that's
get
what
that nigga to sign
she's
this
doing.
shit.
I don't think she believes in all what he does. I don't know what.
No,
Kanye
she's
doing,
just
but
doing what she needs to do out of him.
To say,
which
hey,
is the same thing we need to do, like we should have been doing with every president. We need to get out what we need to get out of that motherfucker. And
But here's the thing. I would feel more like that. Like, she's married to a guy that, like, kisses Trump's ass, too.
I don't think he really is kissing Trump's ass.
But he's married to Kim Kardashian, so it makes your argument for Kim Kardashian kind of fall apart a little bit. So you
not really.
So you believe
She
that
knows how
Kim
to play the game.
Kardashian and Kanye West can separate their political agendas from their marriage?
Yes.
They can operate as
But
that's interesting.
but
You operate? You don't operate separately from yours.
We have disagreements all the time.
But like, if you can't go represent the family in a way that's incongruent to how she represents the family.
But the thing about what I've seen from observing Kanye, he's never backing Trump's policies. He's only saying that is another human being, and I have to love that other human being no matter what decisions that motherfucker makes. He's another person, just like I'm a person, and if he respects me, I have to respect him. He's not saying, yeah, I'm gonna go vote for that nigga. Ever.
Yeah, because he don't
even on the.
vote.
Did you watch his thing with David
I get what
Letterman?
you're
The interview thing he did with David Letterman. My next guest is
Kanye.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
It's actually a very
know.
interesting
I like it.
interview.
So Letterman actually interviewed Kanye.
Yeah.
Wow.
Barack Obama.
I saw Barack Obama.
I didn't see
and
what's her name?
The distinguished people that he interviews, I'm all for it.
But
But I didn't.
it was a very.
I never thought to look that Kanye would be.
Me
on
and
there.
KK watched
Wow.
that. We both looked at each other like that was a good interview.
It was good.
It was like
really good.
it went to places that I didn't think it was gonna go.
Did he seem sane?
He seemed sane and very honest about his insanity.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh shit, another level of respect for Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't written him off yet. As fast as everybody wrote him off, I haven't written him off.
That is interesting.
Because when I see a Kanye,
Wow.
I say you can't take this at face value. That motherfucker's up to something. I could just from basing it on the music that he makes and just basing it on the off the wall shit that this nigga says and does. It's not face value. There's more to it than what's going on. So when I see him going to meet with Trump and I'm like, man,
full circle.
I'm not mad at him.
We
this
talked
this
about
nigga's up to
Kanye
something.
last time you was here too.
So we did. Wow. Yeah, I think Kanye.
He's up. I think he's up to something. I think he's up to something.
He's definitely part of the zeitgeist of the times. Like
Yeah.
You know.
Have you seen any of his Sunday service things?
No. I've
My
just heard
goal
of
is to make it to one of those. Like,
He want to be a part of a
life
cult.
goal.
I don't want to be part of a cult. I just want to fucking go to Sunday service.
You gonna have
It's
to
beautiful.
wear that outfit.
Are
They
you
did,
gonna Are you gonna
all
report on it
purple?
for the UnieQ and Cheese show?
I would
You
love
gonna
to come back and be like-
live remote.
If
You
they
go
let
live
me.
remote. That's true.
If they let me, I would.
should
But
try.
you get it's hard to get in right now. The homie
Oh,
Tony
really?
works for them.
Is
shit.
it for only for
Come on,
rich
Tony.
people? Like,
Kind of.
Are you talking about your sex
But you gotta
thing
be on the
again?
list. What?
It's hard to get in.
Anyway. So I didn't take too many notes about this. I just did like a brief thing. You see, like in Philly and St. Louis, police have been taken off the streets because of racist things that they posted on Facebook.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Hundreds of officers.
Yeah.
They all need to be fired.
I don't think they need to. Okay, so this is my
But
thing
I
about the
think they-
cancel culture. I don't think they need to be fired. I think they need to be educated.
Yeah. I
These
think-
people aren't
think they
educated.
need- I think they need to be
And this
fired.
is from a young age all the way to growing up. They've never been educated. They've never
No.
been educated on sympathy, empathy, any of these. They don't have that training. And they're probably, football players or nerds or some shit. Niggas that's all gassed up. You all aggressive and shit for army tactics and shit.
Yeah.
But they never learn how to be a compassionate human being. So you put ignorant shit like that because you're fucking ignorant. And ignorance only gets defeated with knowledge.
What they don't
firing
know,
them.
Are they going to educate themselves though?
I don't know.
No,
Well, they're forced
if
to.
Philly and St. Louis departments are going to pull them off the street, then pull them off and put them in a classroom. Put them through training. Put them in therapy. Y'all niggas need therapy. If you hate another person just based on their skin color, you need therapy.
It's more of a therapeutic issue because I notice people that come from those types of backgrounds, and it's not that they're ignorant. They're just unbelievably, extraordinarily misinformed, and they do live in a cult-like atmosphere. Even some of my friends who are conservative, and we get into discussions about Barack Obama, and I say, no matter what you may think about him as a president, or you think all of his policies were bad and he made all the wrong decisions or whatever, you cannot dispute the fact that it was really important and it was really time for us to be able to have a president that was not a white man.
Yeah.
And now what the legacy of Obama is that anybody can be president. Don't you think that's a good thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they say, well, yeah, you're right. I think so. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I just wish it had been somebody else.
Why?
I know.
That's one of the most
they
intelligent.
I know.
But I think
but
they're
human
ignorant,
beings.
though.
They have a preconceived notion about what they want black leadership to be in our community.
They want somebody to be like, hey, I need y'all niggas to come down here and vote for me. Jiggity jack. Tap dance.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? I
do.
don't think you're
They
going
do.
to. Of course, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
the
We
guy
will
that owns
evolve.
Godfather's Pizza. Yeah.
But it's like Barack Obama is such a good representative of a fucking intelligent human being.
But they like that. I remember I used to hang out with this guy from Turner. He was a producer, and we would go. He liked black music, privileged white man, and we would go into like a club or a bar, listen to a group or a band or hip hop artist, whatever. And he always talked to the most hoobity boobity black people that were in there all the time, and it got to the point it was kind of irritating. You know, I'm just like,
why was he doing that?
because it made him feel superior. It made him feel like he enjoyed being in that space with those black people and bonding with those black people. And he didn't always feel that comfortable with me because I could compete with him on an intellectual level.
Yeah.
And these are some of the problems that I have with whites, is that they don't like it that I'm smart. They like me in the beginning. I'm like, oh, black person, I love black people. They're so cute. And then I start saying things that they're uncomfortable with. They don't.
Someone gave this nigger a book.
Exactly.
I'm uncomfortable.
And so that creates that creates tension and creates a problem. And I think that's a part of the cop problem, because I get pulled over a lot because I'm black.
Word.
And then they walk up to the window and they get this.
Word.
And they're like, oh, well, this person seems rather bright and
Yes.
intelligent.
How can I help you, sir?
How can I help you, sir? And I'm completely complicit, and
Yeah.
I'm clear,
Yeah.
and I'm concise. They still have aberrant behavior around me.
Well, it's like one of those things where
they're suffering from something that I don't quite know what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, can you get post-traumatic stress disorder from being taught racist bullshit?
yes, I think 1,000%.
Okay, so that's the discussion. That's what I believe. That's what these people are sick.
Yeah.
They've been
They need
literally,
therapy.
they need therapy.
They need
They've
therapy.
been taught all the wrong things.
You have hate in your system.
You know?
You wasn't born with that.
So they can't even overlook the fact I'm affluent. I'm a block from my house, which I
Word.
live in on the 14th floor of a high rise in Buckhead.
He's stunting on him.
Buckhead
Frederick Taylor stunting
is
on him.
the equivalent of Beverly
Stunt on him,
Hills.
Fred. Stunt on him,
Exactly.
Fred.
I'm driving
I own my
a
own company. Stunt on him, Fred. Tomorrow Pictures.tv.
You don't-
Stunt on him,
Yeah.
Fred.
I want to know what he's driving. Wait. What are you driving, man?
a Jag.
Oh, you better stop playing.
You thirsty. Stop being thirsty. Fred's stunting on him over here.
And that doesn't help me. It doesn't get me over the top.
Word.
I have no more
Yeah.
gravitas than
Everybody gets
They
pulled
still
over.
look at you as that.
In fact, it would be better if when I rolled down the window, I did say, "Ooh, hoopity boopity."
Yeah.
You would treat me better.
You think so?
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Because you
totally.
gonna fall right in line.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Get out of here, nigger. You go home in your nice apartment. Anyway, so yeah. What else were we gonna talk about? Oh, we got to take congratulations to Kobe Bryant. Had another daughter,
Wow.
Oh wow, really?
Capri.
So
Kobe
four-
Bryant.
Why do they name these children the stupidest names?
You don't like Capri? That's my niece's middle name.
It's still.
Her name is Kylie
sounds
Capri.
like a hat or a pair of shoes or a
They like
drink
Capri.
or whatever. Capri.
Capri
Kid
is
Capri.
Kobe Bryant.
Was there a car? A Capri.
A Capri. A Capri is.
Caprius.
I don't know.
Which
shout out to
also
Kobe
sounds
Bryant.
like a black girl's name, Caprius.
Capri. Well, she half black. What is Vanessa? Is she Latin?
Yes.
Okay.
She's
Black enough. So congratulations to them. Kobe said they might still try for a boy. I know.
Oh,
he
he
want a boy.
not. He won't
But
want
he's
bad.
saying
You can tell.
Vanessa wants a son more than he does. Because she
Really?
wants the little boy to. Because mamas like boys because boys are always going to be in love with their mama. Mm-hmm. And that's what they want.
That's their first love.
Girls, they gonna battle a little bit.
Yeah.
They might end up being friends in the end. Like my mom and my nana, they're like best friends.
Right, but it took a minute. Like there's a journey
It's
that
a
they
journey.
have to go on.
Yeah. But boys, I love my mama. Hi, mama. I love my mama. Always love my mama.
There's a song.
Mama,
I always love
mama, you know I love you.
That's from Boys to Men, right?
Shout out to Terry. Check 1 2. We did his son's bar mitzvah last night. That's how you know time be moving on, man. I when I met him, his son is a baby, and we just DJ'd his bar mitzvah last night. It's like fuck, man. Time goes by quick, man. Hey,
Time's on your side.
time is gonna keep moving whether you doing shit or not. So get up, wash your ass, brush your teeth, and do all that shit you've been thinking about doing. Stop thinking about doing that shit and get started. You don't want to be 70 years old. This motherfucker like, man, I coulda, shoulda, woulda been. You could be it. Wash your ass. Shit.
Look at you uplifting.
I'm gonna uplift your ass. Can we give a shout out to Cardi B?
Why?
Why?
Cardi
She's
B.
going to jail, ain't she?
She's not going to jail, but she did get indicted on.
Indictment means that it's kind of one step in the direction of jail.
You think she's going to go to jail though?
I think she's going to do
For
a lot
assault
of
charges.
community service.
So do I.
Like,
I don't think she's
ass load.
She's at that status right now a little bit that I don't think she's going to go to jail.
No. They might put her in there for like a week.
You
The way
think so?
Well, they did
I
that
think
to
a strong-
Paris Hilton. She went to jail for like a week.
Word.
Yeah.
She might get some probation or something like that, but I don't think they're going to send her to jail. She's making way too much money, and she is like a poster board for like niggerdom.
She is.
They need her in front to show niggerdom.
She is riding high.
I love Cardi B, but that is a poster child for
She
niggerdom.
is-
Yeah.
So
You
Sometimes
sound
when
like a cracker from Alabama.
hey, that goddamn Cardi B, man,
Like,
I swear she got
sometimes
the
when
poster child
they
for
have her on
niggerdom. Look at her on
TMZ or
there. I'm
something.
like, every time I can't even understand what she's saying. But them niggers understand what she's saying. They keep paying that money. So I'm talking about you keep giving her money. I keep getting that money too. Fucking Cardi B. What's the B stand
She
for?
one of them people when you were like in the mall, right? And you just with your family and she come out and talking that hibbit jibbit and you be like,
Hey, y'all gonna come down there? Y'all come down here. What they doing down there for?
Yes.
Like, you ain't never been nowhere in your
come
life.
on,
Yes.
man.
Just turn that down.
tad
man.
bit.
People-
Don't be telling me, make me be quiet. I don't need to be quiet. All the time trying to shut me up.
Now imagine we're back in our metaphor on the other planet,
Word.
and that we've got these people that ride in our posse that do that,
Word.
and then the other aliens love them.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, I love them. Those are cool.
Those are cool. Like their pair of shoes.
Okay, so congrats to Cardi B. She's the first female hip hop artist to win Songwriter of the Year at the ASCAP Rhythm and Soul Awards.
Really?
She has writers that write with
I know,
her, so I
which
think
I-
everybody should share in that award.
Exactly. So it's a weird award, and what does that say about ASCAP?
Yeah, a little bit. Because just because somebody puts out a lot of work doesn't mean that it's all good.
Okay, so let's just go back in time here. Let's get in our hip hop Wayback Machine.
Yes.
How many
Lauryn
female?
Hill
Right. How many
Little
said
Brothers.
some
Yeah.
incredible things.
Salt and Pepper for
Salt and
Christ.
Pepper
Yeah.
had some bars
They
every
did.
now and
Yeah.
then.
Well, now and then, but you know,
Every now
enough.
and
Karis
Enough
One.
to
We
get this.
No. A female.
Oh, you talking about female?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So we
My
talked about
bad.
this with
I'm
Lisa
early.
Mona. Lisa Mona was
Pray
our
for me.
Lisa Mona was our guest last week. She's also a hip hop artist.
Moni
And we-
Love was another
Moni
one.
Love.
Yeah.
Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah, definitely.
We went down
That's
this list last week.
Yeah,
So.
Queen Latifah was a tremendous writer early in her career.
And I think this ASCAP thing has been around
Oh,
since
Missy-
the 80s, I
Missy
believe. Missy
Elliott.
Elliott. Well, she got inducted to the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
That's wonderful. But
Yeah.
my point is that ASCAP is only now honoring a female hip hop artist with this.
Yeah.
And it's Cardi B.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
all of her teeth are fake, her boobs are fake, her butt is fake. She's had chemical peels.
What does that have to do with her music?
Oh, it has everything to do with her music.
You think
Because
so?
now we're again. Name me one female hip hop artist who does not go through the rinse cycle of upgrading her look in a way that replicates something a little bit more Eurocentric.
And then she had like a massive amount of popularity and shit.
Yeah, because they look busted when they first hit, and then miraculously they turn into these dolls.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to think.
Just a doll.
I think the best one
Lil'
that came.
Kim went over the top.
Oh,
Yeah, she went way over the top.
They say
She
Bless her
Asian
soul.
now.
She does look Asian now.
That's crazy.
It's sad
Bless her
because
soul-
she's
bless her
she
heart.
was
She
really
was
pretty.
fine.
Right now.
It was-
You know how many times I
in the
jacked off?
beginning.
Yeah.
What was her? With that? With the shit! I
She
beat
was
off to
really
that.
cute
She
though.
was fine.
She was, man.
She was.
In the beginning.
Good lord.
She
Why
was.
she do herself?
I don't
like,
know.
Is that low
I don't know.
self-esteem?
But I think it's probably a thing like a Michael Jackson thing
Yeah, 'cause
too.
he was a
When you
handsome
hear
guy.
all the time that something's wrong, you got the money to go fix it.
Yeah, they all was a beautiful.
You start tinkering.
people,
You start tinkering with
the
it.
Jacksons, they all look good.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah,
I thought so.
they
Who's
all
your
were.
favorite? Who's your favorite Jackson?
Michael Jackson.
Is it still Michael
Yeah,
Jackson?
I love
Okay,
I love Mike.
Mike is my number one.
Okay.
But
Which-
Janet
which-
Jackson to me, I just recently listened to
Nobody choose Tito.
fuck Tito. I'm just kidding. I just recently listened to Control, brilliant
Yeah,
album.
she's talented.
I listened to Rhythm Nation 1814,
I'm all grown up.
brilliant album. The Janet album, brilliant. I was like all these fucking brilliant albums. But I like Janet. I think Janet's solid.
I'll give you that.
And then when she came out, she was all sexy and shit too. Ugh.
Yeah,
'Cause before
Level
she was like- it was like cool.
Well, Level will never do without you.
Oh, gotta love that song.
And the video.
Do y'all remember her
I
on
can
What's
remember the
Happening?
video.
You don't remember the video?
I know I saw it, but I gotta remember it. It's
Oh,
been a
really?
while.
She looks beautiful. She's at her best.
Ugh.
She's
When I
exquisite.
fell in love
and
with
she
her on
transcends
What's
out of
Happening.
being Michael's sister. Like
Word.
you don't have this weird erotic fetish of her as Michael's sister. You have her
Just
as
as
her
Janet.
own. It's Janet,
Word.
which is what was an incredible feat
Never,
at that particular
never
time.
do
I just wish they
without
had
you.
done more work together. I wish they had taken them working together.
I think probably
they could have done several
their,
albums.
their
together. It
labels
would've been hard.
probably fucked that shit all up. Ooh, speaking of that, you know who could have made that happen? Clarence Atwater. We were just talking about
That dude's
Clarence Avant.
powerful.
My bad, Clarence Avant. Clarence Avant.
I was like, Atwater.
Who's
No,
Clarence Atwater?
I made that up, but Clarence
What?
Avant.
No, yeah, Google Clarence.
Yeah,
Atwater.
if you haven't
Clarence
seen
Atwater.
the Netflix documentary The Black Godfather, I suggest you wash your ass, brush your teeth, and watch The Black Godfather. Have you seen that?
My phone is not.
Have you seen it, Fred?
I have not. Tell me more.
It's about Clarence Avant. He is about like
Unbelievable.
Quincy Jones' age, so he's been in the game for about 80 years. So he came up under the mob, basically. He was trained. I forgot who the name of the guy was that put him into play. But once that guy put him into play, it's like he's like the deal maker behind the scenes. This is how powerful I realized this guy was. As I'm watching this documentary, fucking President Obama's in that shit. President Clinton's in that shit. Every record label executive is in that shit. And any like superstar business person, political person, film person, TV, like all these different industries,
Yes, most
they go
definitely.
through him on some real like Godfather type shit.
Really?
He had a label once upon a time. What was the nigga that was on his label? The nigga on the guitar.
Oh, in the classic songs.
Yes.
He had a few people that had some good music. I
Yeah,
know
he had
talking
SOS band. That's what I was like.
Yeah.
Oh shit, son, he had
I
SOS
think I
band.
got it on here. Let me see if I might
So
have
there's
it.
a Clarence Atwater.
Why you really look up Clarence Atwater?
1893 to 1968.
We talking about Clarence
He's
Avant.
buried in Hooker, Texas County, Oklahoma.
Are we really talking about Clarence Atwater? We told me talking about
you
Clarence
said
Avant.
him. You said Clarence Atwater.
Because I read Clarence and then I saw the A and I just finished off the rest of it with the Atwater. But Clarence Avant, I would say once again, if you haven't seen the Netflix documentary The Black Godfather, watch The Black Godfather.
Unbelievable.
It was good. It was good to see that an African American man was in the highest ranks of places that he can be, and he was still black than a motherfucker. Like all he was concerned about was pushing the black culture forward. And if it was anything that was about number, he said life is numbers. That was his quote. But he said anything that pushed the culture forward, he was all for it. So like when deals and stuff need to be like the story about Soul Train when they try to what's his name? Who had American Bandstand? Dick Clark.
Dick Clark.
He tried to put on a competing show against Soul Train to take Soul Train out.
Dick Clark?
Yeah.
No, American Bandstand was on before Soul
But
Train.
they tried
American
to no. They tried to put on a show
Oh, a
that's
show, yeah,
similar
that's
to
similar
Soul Train,
right.
to eliminate Soul Train. But
Well, that didn't work.
It didn't work because Clarence Avant was like, shut that shit down.
So Clarence Avant shut it shut it. Oh my god.
He shut it. Yeah. You've been around us. Do we rub it off on you?
It's just like, that was actually really upsetting.
I might not be telling the story 100% correct, but
And
in a
it's-
certain
so
way,
Clarence-
because he
is
was like,
Clarence
no,
white? Clarence
no,
is
he's
white.
black dude. He's blacker than a motherfucker.
Then how was he able to shut it down?
That's why you got to watch The Black Godfather, because
you gotta
that's the
watch
kind of
it.
shit he
do?
did. Okay.
So he
okay.
hung some white guy out a window and said, "Take this shit off the air."
I don't know how he gets his deals done, but he gets
was
his
a
deals
Godfather.
done. This is what we'll do, and then we'll hear your Michael Jackson story. Because also, when they tried to get, when they did E.T., and they did like a storybook. They did a storybook that went along with the movie E.T., and
Right.
Michael
But
Jackson
Jackson
read the
wrote the
narration.
narration. Correct.
But Sony was out of their like, you didn't ask us permission to get this motherfucker to do. No, you're not putting Michael Jackson on that shit. Fuck that. You need to go through us to get it, because they did it without their permission. All these lawyers for everybody, for Steven Spielberg, for Michael Jackson, for the record companies, all these people are sitting at this table to try to negotiate a way to get Michael Jackson shit cleared, because they weren't going to let him do it. And fucking Clarence Avant is in that
You
office.
almost said Atwater.
Almost.
You almost said Atwater.
So Clarence Avant is in that meeting with them, and everybody's
Who's married in Hooker, Texas, Oklahoma.
Rest in peace to Clarence
Hooker,
Atwater.
Texas. There's a place in Oklahoma.
You're not baiting me with
called
that.
Hooker, Texas.
You're not baiting me with that.
He died in 1968.
Yeah. 1 year off of 169. I'm just saying. Be mature, Freddie. Anyway, so you got all these lawyers, you got all these bigwigs sitting in the office, and they're looking at him like, who the fuck is this dude? Like, who the fuck is this black guy sitting up in here? And they're like, this is the one that's above all of you. And he got that. Watch The Black Godfather. I don't want to fuck up the stories.
No, you can fuck those up. I'm always happy to hear about black achievement. I don't need
When
any
we eat
spoiler
breakfast,
with my black achievement.
I'll put it on when we eat breakfast, and you can see
Fair
some
enough.
of it.
Okay, I will look at that. That's actually
And for everybody else, watch it. It's called The Black Godfather. So Netflix, wash your ass, brush your teeth. Be sure to watch that.
So
shit.
what does that tell you? That are you saying that some black people in this business have power?
Yes,
Like real
But
power?
I think he got mob power. Like, I think they knighted that nigga. So when the main mob dude that he worked for, when that dude died, it ushered in for Mr. Clarence.
So Mr. Clarence is a black godfather.
He's a black godfather.
He's a made man.
He's a
Real
made
Is he
man.
anointed by the
I'd say yes.
organization?
I would say yes. He would say he's not. He
You
would
don't
say
think they just
he would
use
say
that
he
as a title?
what? No.
No, I mean he could never
Because of the way the movie The
Discuss
Godfather
it.
is why he would be called that.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
ain't literally
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Godfather.
yeah,
he
okay,
ain't getting niggas taken out and shit like that. But he does
Well,
have power.
apparently he can get these
He has
kinds
power.
of
Yeah,
he could,
high level deals done.
He has power. But we'll watch it when we eat breakfast.
Fair enough.
What else we got to touch on real quick? Speaking of touching on, I know this is also probably some political thing, but they're trying to get President Trump once again for sexual assault. They're
Yeah, I
saying
heard
he
about
sexually
that.
assaulted the magazine advice columnist
It's not gonna
Jean Carroll. I don't think it's gonna stick either.
That dude's untouchable, man.
I don't think it's gonna
Like
stick either.
2020.
There's
That's how we-
Well,
there's
it
something
happened-
so powerful about not giving a fuck and just saying, nope, she's lying. You know what I'm saying? And just keep it on going. Like
he
she's saying, like, yeah, 23 years ago this shit happened, but he's saying, nope, the Democrats found her, brought it up, it ain't true. Next,
That's
you know what I'm
how he
saying?
is,
And
too.
and that's how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
Well, until
We know he had sex with Stormy Daniels. Not saying that he sexually assaulted her or no shit like that. We know they had sex.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. I don't care. I mean, of course, I don't want her to be sexually assaulted. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's terrible. But I think it's also like a democratic move to pull somebody like this out from the background and be like, you should share your story now. It's almost re-election time. We need to
It's
bring
kind
him
of
down.
reaching.
Yeah.
it's really important to understand how things work.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said before, I don't believe that I have justice out there in the streets. I don't believe that if I'm in a dispute with someone that I should settle it there.
Mm-hmm.
I will settle it in court
Word.
with a lawyer and an attorney.
Exactly. As she should do.
And the thing about it is that I feel terrible for her in being able to I'm getting a phone call.
Jesse Jensen. Go ahead. Fred's going to
Hey
take
Jesse,
a call
I'm
right
answering
in
this
the middle
call
of the
while
show.
I'm on air.
It's interesting how
Jesse.
people do this. So,
I
So-
apologize.
hey, Jesse,
Yeah.
how you doing, Jesse?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing pretty
All
good.
right,
Doing
all right,
pretty
all
good.
right.
Figured if you're going to call, we might as well say hi.
All right. Well, you didn't need to answer.
Oh, I know,
uh,
but it made for better entertainment on air.
Oh, because we're boring.
No,
Yeah.
it's not you're boring.
That's what it relate to.
But, you know,
Goddamn. This is like the
I'm here
scene at the
live
end of
at-
Rush Hour when
I'm here
somebody
live at
called
the
Chris
AT&T
Tucker on his
event.
phone.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see it.
I didn't.
I hate you so
No,
much.
don't be mean.
You just have to talk over him, Jesse.
Why you hate me?
I hate
All
you
right.
because I love you.
So,
I hate you because I can't
oh
have
my God,
you.
you guys.
So maybe
we
I hate
have
Camille.
a guest.
Are you in love with me?
Yes, I am.
Oh my God.
Buy me something. Can I
Wow.
use
No,
you?
I could never date you. You
Wow.
fucking complain about
Oh
shit.
my God.
You don't try new foods
Wow.
and shit. Like, no,
Wow.
nigga, we would never make it.
You guys are
Try new
insane.
food.
What?
You guys are. Jesse's still on the phone.
Oh.
I don't gotta change just because Jesse's on the phone. Shit, hi Jesse.
Hey, I'm coming to you live here from the Warner Brothers studio.
Yeah,
Nice.
He's at Warner Brothers. Yeah.
Nice. What are you doing at the studios today, Jesse? It's a Sunday. Take a day off.
They got AT&T Shape out here, so they got 20,000 people converging in the area and a bunch of demos and cool stuff for how we're going to change the world.
That sounds awesome. Can we get tickets? Can we come check that out today?
You know, it's sold out.
God damn it.
So,
All
otherwise,
right.
I'd definitely get you out here.
All right. I guess Fred will tell us about it.
Yeah, well, I saw some other directors from Atlanta out here yesterday. A guy named Ofu. I don't know if you guys know him. He was out here yesterday.
Interesting. The plot thickens.
That's right.
I'd love to hear how you guys are going to change the world. I'm so interested in this world being changed.
Well, I owe Jesse a call back, so
Yeah.
I'll find out then.
Yeah, give him a call because I want to know.
Yes.
changing of the
I'll
world.
share that information with you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
And so now you'll have to give Jesse the link to this so he can,
Yeah, I'll
listen
give it to
this,
you. You
but
can forward it to
He
him.
can, he can play it for his family and everything, and they'll be entertained.
I hope they're 18 and over.
Some of them are.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Some of them are, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Fred uses potty language, so we have to.
Well, yes, I'm the one. I'm the
Yes.
aberrant one in all of this.
He,
Nice.
he used the word
Yes.
vagina a lot.
As I'm climbing from under the bus. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. These are the people that I run with in Hollywood, Jesse.
Turn up.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna meet you guys virtually.
You
Right.
got it.
That's right.
Okay, buddy.
All right. Call me back.
You got it,
Take
brother.
care.
See ya.
All right, bye.
Bye.
It's like the Dave Chappelle call when Dave Chappelle be like, "Peace," and like, "Scoobity boo bop." At the end of the call. All right. How much more stuff do we have on here? Anything else you want to? Any new projects that you're working on now that you'd like to
Absolutely.
share with us? Please
I would.
share with us. I have one thing that I'd like to do before we get out of here, and then
Yes.
let's hear about your projects.
Certainly.
You're listening to the Unique and Cheese Show. Frederick Taylor is our special guest. TomorrowPictures.tv.
Thank you.
Yes, Fred.
Well, the projects are twofold. There is the creative-based projects that are sort of outward-reaching into the world to change the world externally from the outside in, and then there's this inside-out objective that I have as well, where I do a lot of frontward-facing corporate media for clients that are sustainable and moving towards diversity.
Are there corporations interested in changing the world for the better or just for the profit?
They're in the profit zone. The for the better is on the other side of profit, and
Okay.
you can't
I respect
really,
that.
Yeah, and you
I
can't
respect
really
that.
get people to talk about for the better until you get well
Yes.
into the profit zone.
Understandably.
Once you're generating profits, then people start to turn to you and they say, "Okay, what can we do that's better?" The world changes with money when the money isn't affecting the powers that be that generate it and create it. You know what I mean? It's like you will pay to change the world through the interest that you accrue on money that you already have.
Okay.
That's how it works, So what I do is I do work for international corporations like Rotary International, national corporations like the
What is
veteran. Rotary
I saw the
is
phone. I was like,
I know
"They're
it's
still in
kind of weird.
business?"
It's actually a 100-year-old organization that organizes business and business people and entrepreneurs and millionaires and billionaires from all over the world. So
Why?
it's kind of a business club. I'm glad that hopefully no one else saw that but me. But I'm the only person traumatized.
I hope Cheese saw it.
Me over here, dude. I'm about to leave this.
Rotary.
It's-
We're talking about Rotary.
We're talking
Stay
about
focused.
Rotary International.
Sexual harassment.
Stay focused.
Exactly.
Sexual
So,
harassment.
other organizations like the Veterans Administration, it's a government agency. We've been doing several campaigns over the past few years, helping veterans overcome and look for help when it comes to post-traumatic stress disorder as well.
Another situation that is very mind-boggling to me that people say so much about, we love our troops, respect our troops, do well for our troops, but no one gives a fuck about the troops.
This is where
God, that drives me
but
crazy.
Listen to me. This is the golden goose. This is the bottom. This is where you have this entire zeitgeist of Trump and Trumpites and followers by the balls.
Word.
This is the one thing that forces them to turn around and take a look at themselves, and you're holding that mirror up.
I hope so.
Because this is where you have them completely and totally boxed in. Now, with the reparations and slavery issue, you can just say, wasn't on my watch. This is on their watch
100%.
in real time, and these are their people.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people they talk about, that they support, that they're supposed to be behind, that they're supposed to be
You're
helping.
disrespecting the flag.
Exactly. 50% of our gross national product goes towards the military.
Word.
50% of all the money that we make
Yeah.
pays to go whip somebody else's ass.
Word.
Those are serious issues, and we're sending these young men and young women and young people off by the score
Word.
to implement this particular policy that
Yeah.
only the elite are benefiting from.
Yep.
They're on a crash course because this one's not going to hold up. We've been in the mix with the VA for several years, and I come in and I make these really powerful segments about their people who are struggling. And they still have had a difficult time stepping up to the plate and saying, hey, we need to do something about this. We need to get behind this. You know, I've made spots that are supposed to run in movie theaters and on TV and all this other stuff. And everybody's still sitting around scratching their head going, like, how should we present this in a way that's going to make sure everybody feels comfortable?
Give them the raw truth.
Exactly.
Put that fucking dick right in their ass. Like, this is what's happening. This is happening right now. I can't sugarcoat this shit.
Right.
It's fucked up.
Right.
If you guys can donate $50 million to build a fucking stupid ass wall, you can donate $50 million to help these goddamn veterans. How about that?
No,
That's where the money should go. Instead of your fuck your wall. Help the veterans.
Exactly. And
actually, it's billions that they need
They
to build that wall.
No. I mean, but they started a GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
And they raised like over $50 million or something like that. Yes.
Are you
Just so they can build that stupid ass wall.
That GoFundMe, how
And that's not
powerful
even
would
going-
that GoFundMe be if that GoFundMe was for these veterans?
Yes.
$50 million would go a long way to a
long
lot of
way.
veterans. But
Fuck
people
yeah.
would rather build a wall to keep out a bunch of people that were already here in the first place
That's
before
gonna
they
go-
got here.
Yeah.
Dig under the ground.
Their ancestry can be traced back 10,000 years here.
Yeah.
They have the right to be here. These people are tripping.
Yes. It's crazy.
They need to live with this.
It's crazy.
They need to live with this.
Yeah.
They're just afraid that there's going to be too many of them. Now there's more of them than there are
And then-
of black people.
But I wonder, have any of these people ever been across the United States? Because if there's one thing that the United States has, it's space.
Exactly.
There's so much space. There's so much
space.
land in this
There's so much
country.
land.
It's ridiculous.
And we don't want to put the technology in place to be able to capitalize on it. We don't want to put the communication technology out there. We don't want to put the sustainable housing out there. And we don't want to put high-speed railways. You could get Japanese people to build these high-speed railways all over this country tomorrow
Word.
and tie this country together.
Yeah.
Because we need to get our shit out of the skies anyway. You know, because if you can get if there was a high-speed rail system that could get you from where's
the LA to San Francisco
LA
one?
to San Francisco, LA to San Diego, LA to Las Vegas, and get you there in minutes instead of hours.
Word.
Dude. And
Yeah.
that technology exists. That's here.
Yeah.
And you've been back in the South. I mean, to get you from Atlanta to Charlotte to
Word.
Charleston to Birmingham,
Just
or
across
whatever,
Texas.
just literally just across Texas.
Just across Texas.
There
It's
should
a
literally be
long-ass
nothing
ride.
but a high-speed line.
Yeah.
That you can put your car on, get on the train,
How dope would that
and
be?
then drive you across Texas.
That should
Okay,
be
but
dope.
this is all plausible stuff.
Yeah.
All plausible
And
stuff.
jobs and shit that-
Jobs.
yeah.
Exactly. And this is where that whole Trumpian thing falls apart about like, oh, we're building infrastructure. We're trying to help. You're not trying to help anybody.
Word.
You're not building any new shit
Word.
in these
just
areas that
add
have space.
lanes to
Exactly.
fucking-
Adding lanes. You're adding lanes in cities where all of the people of color are in the first place that you don't like.
Yeah.
And I don't understand because you're just basically creating an environment for more people of color to drive around and clog up the roadways.
Yeah.
You know, and they're all going to be cluttered on your buses.
Yeah.
You know, and you're going to be mad again.
Yeah.
They don't get it that they need to build a better infrastructure that is inclusive of everyone. Diversity in the 21st century is the only business.
Word.
End of story.
End of story.
And anybody that doesn't understand that is a clown.
And they missed the boat.
They've missed the boat, and that's going to be categorically on them. So, you know, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else are you working on?
I am working on a documentary about a 12-year-old transgender kid.
We talked about that last time that you were here.
And we're getting to brass tacks time. Things are closing in and finishing up. And
is it post production now, or are you still following?
No, we're a little bit of following.
Okay.
Most of the shots I'm doing now are just arty shots.
Word.
It's like the kid swimming. The kid's a really good swimmer.
Uh-huh.
Male transition to female.
Uh-huh.
So I refer to her as she.
Yeah.
So she loves to swim.
Word.
And watching children swim underwater and filming it is beautiful.
Word.
And it's androgynous. It's not specific to the genders. Movements between the genders are the same underwater. And so it relieves you of focusing on whether, boy or girl, I don't know.
Word.
And so that ideology is moving into how I'm creating a soundtrack, because it was weird. I had one of those artistic head explosions. I'm underwater filming this little white child floating around, trying to keep my black foot from floating up into the frame as I'm shooting, because it would be weird to see a black foot with a white child underwater. It's funny. You would appreciate it. But my point is that I started hearing music in my head, because when you're underwater, your imagination just goes kaboom.
Word.
And I started hearing music, and I started hearing more androgynous music that you can't tell whether it's a girl or a boy.
Word.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that type of music. And so I've been listening to a lot of that, and over decades, different types of artists. Even someone like Tracy Chapman, who has perfected the art of masculine, feminine. I find that to be extraordinary. And that's going to be a big part of what this soundtrack is. So the next big part of the journey is, what is the music of this?
You got a fast car.
Yeah, so we're going into this other zone with it, which it's really nice. It's a hugely creative project, and it's very challenging, and it brings up a lot of very serious socio-political issues as well. And you learn a lot about who people really are and who people think they are. Because we are two things. We present as a specific gender in public when we wake up in the morning. You get up in the morning and you're like, I would like to present as a man. I enjoy that. I enjoy presenting as a man. When I'm at home and I'm intimate, I prefer to be intimate with someone who is of the opposite sex. That's my preferred lifestyle. After that, you have people that get up in the morning and they say, I prefer to present as a woman. I'm still biologically a man, but I prefer to present as a woman. And then when I'm intimate, I'm interested also in being with another woman. And that's a relationship. Then there are ones where I present as a female, but I want to be with a man. And that's another relationship. And you have all of these variances in how people present versus who they are intimate with.
Would you make a documentary about somebody who loves to have sex with their dog or something like that? Like not just like a pervert type of thing. Like they're really infatuated with who that dog is. Would you be interested in finding out the story of why? Like, really, you in love with your dogs? Like, nigga, you don't even understand, man. Until you have some dog love. You need some, you know what I'm saying? Have that motherfucker curl up, lick your balls and shit, man. That's true love. Like, but somebody that's serious though, like somebody seriously is in love with their dog.
Here's here's the inherent problem with that, is that dogs are they don't have high functioning brains.
They got pussies,
so they do. But it's attached to a very lower functioning brain, which actually operates on instinct and ritual. So you can essentially, and I hate that I'm in this conversation with you right now, train your dog to lick your balls. Do you see where I'm going with this? That this isn't real love. This is trained love.
No,
fantasy.
I'm just in this person's head.
In this person's head, this person has been training an animal to please them sexually. That dog is not a free will. That dog only operates under ritual and cause and effect. Well, wow, if I lick my master's balls, my master will give me a treat. And so he's like, okay, I'll lick his balls. And so that's not a real relationship. That's a hoe you pick up in Vegas.
True.
Okay? When you get a Vegas hoe, it's like she will lick your balls And then
you give her a treat.
And you give her a treat. So that's the equivalent of the relationship.
On a side note, I think dogs like the taste of semen because sometimes if I
this is where that's you. That is you. You should so keep that to yourself.
Sometimes
that's why you keep them to
you have
dogs.
lived. You have truly lived a life of experimentation. I will say that.
I'm just saying they lick it off the floor if it's on the floor.
That's a really interesting.
disgusting,
I ain't the one licking it up.
Why they in the room with you
Why-
anyway?
They not. They come in after.
Wow.
What?
And I thought I cleaned it all up, and then they see it on the floor.
I know.
It's like licking the floor hard. Like, why you looking? Oh, get out of that! And then they come right back to it. Just saying.
And then dog gonna get pregnant. He gonna have a koi.
You don't get pregnant by swallowing. Anyway, what's your Michael Jackson story?
Right, we're moving over from that to Michael Jackson.
This is ridiculous.
This is just like falling down a flight of steps.
I was wondering.
playing Jill Scott.
We
in
were
a Tyler
talking
Perry
about
movie.
different love that people
Yes.
have.
Wait, rewind. What'd you say?
I heard Jill Scott, and we're going to eat inside. They're bringing us breakfast in here. This is very nice.
I don't never get breakfast. Thank God.
Nigga, you ate breakfast last week. What the fuck are you talking about?
Father's Day.
No, it's because, nigga, we like you.
You like me?
Yes. We'll be right inside. We closing up. Thank you so
ladies.
much.
Thank you.
Take
so much.
me with you.
They
Thank
gonna-
you
they gonna
so
spit
much.
your-
I really
They
appreciate
gonna
it.
spit your
Thank you.
orange.
They are
gonna
the
be good.
sweet. You have the sweetest family in the world.
I know. So
and
give
you
us-
guys are lunatics, and you just
That's why we be
scared
lunatics
them-
in here.
You scared them away. They came in with love.
They sure did.
Morning sun.
And they look good, too.
They do.
Can we
Beautiful.
finish so
You
we
have
can go
a-
eat?
You have an aesthetically pleasing family.
Can you do the
It is
Michael Jackson story?
astonishing how beautiful your family is.
It's
when I see
not.
it.
Why is it so astonishing? I'm a good looking nigga.
They're-
You're all right.
You
pushing
are.
it.
I know you are.
Push
You're
it.
just-
Come on.
He exploits it. He exploits it.
I'm just kidding.
No,
but I'm not. Come on, give us the Michael Jackson story. I got one more thing we need to do, and then we're
Yes.
going to wrap it up.
Okay.
We're here with
So-
Frederick Taylor. You're listening to the UnieQ&Cheese show.
Okay. Currently, it is the date and time right now is June 23rd, 2019.
That's when he died? Oh,
No,
June
he
23rd?
died June 25th,
June 25th.
2009.
That was that long ago?
It will be 10 years ago
Fuck, man.
Remember when I
in
called
2
you?
days.
My brother
Right.
called me too.
Yes.
He was crying. I didn't cry.
10 years ago. That's a lie because this is where the story leads.
I didn't cry.
Yes, you did.
I cried.
Yes, you did.
I don't remember
cried.
crying.
Yes, you did. I'm getting ready to
I
bury
believe
you
you.
alive.
Go ahead,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
bury
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Tell
Because
you
he
so-
lies so
right,
much.
He lies all
I don't
the
lie.
time.
I don't
He's
lie.
so-
Do.
He's so. I have him by the balls right
Yeah.
now.
I don't lie.
Okay, so
I just don't remember.
good one for prison.
Now, don't put that on me. I'm not going to prison. Go ahead with your Michael Jackson story.
I was in Sherman Oaks, and the Jackson compound was right up the way in Encino.
Word.
And so I had all my gear with me. And so I was like,
His camera gear.
camera gear.
I get it.
You did not. You thought
I
he had
did.
football shit on.
No, I didn't. I thought he had on LA gears. You remember LA gears?
I remember
Michael
LA
Jackson
gears.
had a pair of LA
did.
gears.
I
remember that.
Go ahead.
Turn
I'm
up.
sorry.
Such a
He
logical
tied it in.
place.
I like how you tied that in.
I started filming. So I went to the Jackson compound, filmed there. I went to the home where he passed away and filmed there. I went to down on Hollywood Boulevard. Everybody's dancing around the star, all the other stuff. I did that, and then I actually went to the memorial that was at the Staples Center as well. And I got a ton of interviews with all these different people. I actually have the only interviews with people reacting as they're coming out of the memorial, like literally seconds after it's over.
Wow.
You know, what are your feelings right
amazing.
now? How are you feel? I mean, it was just these people were just so incredibly supercharged. You know, I have people weeping in the streets, and then I have people that are academics and psychologists, sociologists discussing this particular phenomena. And the Michael story, since he's died, has taken on a life of its own.
Word.
You know, and it was one of those things that I had back in the day. I made them in the podcast, put them up, and you know, people were kind of feeling some kind of way about it. They weren't really sure where they stood or where they landed on it. And now what I'm going to do is go back and harness all of this material that I shot 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 years ago, combining it with now, and then finish out the piece. And it's going to be this documentary that spans a decade.
Word.
That I just kind of was doing on the side, because I would go out on Hollywood Boulevard. I'd interview people. Hey, what do you think about Michael Jackson? Blah, blah, through that all that crazy stuff. And I just have tons of interviews of people and their thoughts and feelings, and the stuff is just so interesting and so compelling that I really want to be able to put it out there.
Word.
So 9 years ago, we were both profoundly moved by the passing of Michael Jackson, as you were, as well as millions of people were. So I'll never forget this, because I was coming back from shooting over in Bel Air, was where his home that he died in was, and I was on the 405, and I was driving up the 405 going back to Sherman Oaks, and I get a call from him, and you know how he is. He's like, "What up, nigga?" You know? And I told him what I was doing, shooting the Michael Jackson stuff, and he's like, "Have you cried yet?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Hey, no." He's like, "Seriously, have you cried about it yet? Has it just hit you?" And I said, "No, it hasn't." And then he started talking about how it had hit him and how he had been crying. He's like, "You're gonna eventually cry. It's gonna make you cry, man." And sure enough, like literally, I was doing something the next day, and all the radio shit was blowing up with it, and "Never Can Say Goodbye" came on, man. And I just remembered how I felt being a young kid and the amount of pride I had in the Jacksons and the Jackson 5. My mom, begging my mom to let me wear my fro out, like, you know, blow it out with a blowout comb and all stuff before school. You know, that was a thing. And I remember I loved Soul Train more than American Bandstand, you know, and all that meant something. And all of those feelings came rushing back. And I started crying.
Wow.
And I was like, fuck him. Exactly. He was so right. He'd gotten way up in me on that. And
you were my friend.
It's so funny. 10 years later, he's denying that
he cried.
Right.
I believe he cried.
He did.
Did you cry when Prince passed too?
Didn't cry, but I did have a moment though.
Yeah, I did felt that I felt he had a lot of unfortunate problems with prescription drugs and stuff like that. So it was a different type of situation. And he wasn't a childhood star to me. He was a teen rebellious star for me. You know, but so there's a difference.
I had a closure moment because he did a song for the Happy Feet soundtrack. He did a song called Song of the Heart. And when I woke up, that's the song that was playing because the movie was going off. And I was like, oh, goddamn, man, what a nice song. I love this song. Such a beautiful song. And then as soon as I get to the car, he's like, Prince died. I'm like, are you
serious?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
wow.
that's like my closure moment. I felt like, because I love waking up to like a good song, like some shit I never heard before. And I was like, God, because I was like waking up into it, so I wasn't all the way awake yet. I'm like, God, fucking, this is a great song. I love this song. It's beautiful. And then, so it was his song.
That was an amazing story.
That's an amazing story too. Yep.
All right, so to end it on the bad note, let's do a quick thing. Then we can go inside, eat breakfast. We're going to do a thing called, Is That a Little Gay? Question.
This is remarkable. This is a thing.
Have you ever?
Oh, this is so incredibly insensitive.
When you take a shower, do you use a washcloth or sometimes do you just use the soap and wash your body with the soap?
I do a washcloth.
It depends on where I am and who I'm with.
Most of the time I use a washcloth, or we have these sponge things that the Asians use. It's real dope. They're like long and they're scrubby. You can do all kinds of shit with it. But every now and then
you were introduced to that as you indoctrinated yourself into Asian culture.
1000%. KK brought that in the house. But sometimes if I'm just using a bar of soap, like if I'm staying at a hotel or something like that, because I'm the only one that's going to use that soap. So I'll use the soap, blah, blah, blah. Have you ever washed your ass crack and a finger slipped in?
Never.
Would that be gay? A little gay.
Can I say something?
Happen? Yes.
I do it all the time.
Your finger goes in your ass? You got to clean it.
Exactly. And it's an antibacterial soap.
Word.
And I look at it as a holistic and medicinal thing. I don't sexualize it.
So it's not a little gay?
No, not at all.
So little finger in the booty's not gay.
Well, the point is that if you do not have a relationship with your booty hole, your booty hole could jump up and bite you in the ass.
That's true. You need to clean your ass. Wash your ass.
That's
why I don't get shit stains either.
The point is that it's important to have a functioning colon.
Word. That is 100%.
I'm gonna be honest.
100%.
So it's like are women pleasing themselves if they give themselves self-breast examinations?
No. But if they wash it for too long and it's just
see, this is
soapy.
you are
soap.
Exactly. You're a victim of media. I mean, it's just like that's just literally
brainwash.
A little gay and your finger in your booty hole, or women touching themselves too much.
Next question.
These are media things that have been pumped into your head.
Probably.
It's brainwashing.
I'm brainwashed by the aliens.
Exactly. Yes.
Question.
Yeah, you are.
Is this a little gay? If you prefer porn with well-hung individuals, is that gay? Is that a little gay? You only want to watch porn with big dicks in it. Is that a little gay?
That
Is that a
might
little gay?
be worth some investigating.
All right.
That I mean, it does raise a few issues as far
Do you
as
wanna watch small dick porn?
your perception of sexuality that that you can only get to your androgynous zone if the penis is of a certain length.
Word.
Now, are we talking
And
length
girth.
and girth?
And
So
girth.
You're bringing girth into this too.
Yeah.
And so that makes it far more exciting. I think that does open the door to there's a certain level of homoeroticism, but a
Word.
certain level of homoeroticism is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Just a little gay.
it doesn't
Nothing
make
wrong being
you
a little gay.
It's not,
You don't wanna
but
fuck
you're
a dude.
but you're define gay. Like, I think this is a better
Well,
question.
first of all, I don't
Because
like that.
homoeroticism is not gay.
All right.
That's not gay.
Okay.
You do.
Is this gay? Is this gay?
He has a whole show built on the foundation of this subtextual.
But is it a little gay if you can see the helmet in somebody's pants and you look at it more than once?
I was gonna say
Is that gay? Like you see, like
Again, this is an investigation of self at that point, because you shouldn't be looking at a woman's vagina either.
Why not? You don't see the camel toe and be like, I'm saying you sit there staring at it like, but if you notice it, you don't get that little look back like, oh shit, I saw a pussy right there. You never look back?
No, out of respect to the woman.
Fuck that. I look back. She wore it. She wore it. She know her pussy sticking through them pants.
I've reached a different...
Big fat monkey. Look at that monkey. Ooh, You want to get that monkey a banana. Look at that monkey. Is that a little gay though? But if you see the helmet, be like, is that the helmet? Is that a little gay? Just ask it. This is not because I do it. I'm just asking.
Oh wow,
is that a little gay?
That level of credibility blew out the window. The mere fact that you brought this up,
It's because I was taking a shower this morning as I was cleaning my ass. The finger did go boop, and I was like, is that gay? That's what made me think of this segment. Is that a little gay?
Did you keep it in there?
Huh? No. I took it out immediately.
No. Wait.
Whoa. No. Just a pinky.
Don't you
all right, the food's getting cold.
All right. You want a clean poop shoot.
Yeah.
Don't you hate
the
anal?
rim?
Don't you hate anal itch?
Yes.
Okay, isn't
Sucks.
that it's horrible?
It
It's
sucks.
disgusting. It's horrible. The quick inconvenience of sticking your finger in your booty hole
To clean it out?
Yeah,
It's all right.
You eliminate infection and
Could we
rash
douche?
and
Oh,
other-
I guess an enema is like douche in the ass.
That's different. That's a colonic.
Well, I think I need to
It's
do
not
one
a
of those.
douche. That's a colonic.
Ain't that douche in the ass?
Eat broccoli.
I eat broccoli, but I still need to do a squash though, because I know there's a lot of shit that needs to come out.
What's
that's
in
been
there?
Shit that's just been hanging out. I've been eating too much Carl's Jr. They got the Beyond
You're
Burger now. It's fucking
crazy.
delicious.
You literally, you deserve it. You deserve all the Carl's Jr. backed up in your system that you can tolerate.
Shit. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening
Thank
to the
you.
Unique and Cheese Show. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, The Unique and Cheese Show, at The Unique and Cheese Show. For all emails, please send us to theuniqueandcheeseshow@gmail.com. Thank you for watching here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe and like button. We do appreciate it. Frederick Taylor, is there anything you'd like to say in closing?
Absolutely. For more information about the world that I create, tomorrowpictures.com for all of your corporate media solutions needs, tomorrowpictures.tv for the revolution will be downloaded. Or
Mr. Cheese.
apparently streamed on YouTube.
Streamed. It's definitely going to be streamed. That's
You
what
think
it
it's
says.
gonna be
It's going to be
But
streamed.
is it going to be streamed on our own platforms, or are we going to continue to stream on these other institutional platforms?
In the way that they want to do it, it's going to be on the other platforms. But we're going to have someone on our side that has power, that wants to be able to keep the individual power in our own hands, so that we can keep our website, so that we can keep our shit to keep streaming on. But it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google. If they own everything, we're in trouble.
And that's why I've built tomorrowpictures.tv, which is a platform just for that.
Word.
So I'm out there, any venture capitalists. I'm looking for funding as well.
Turn
and you
up.
can learn more about me as an artist at FR, the number 3DER1, the numeral 1, CK. Frederick.com, and you will know. And it's been a pleasure, gentlemen, as always.
We
you look like you're
appreciate
getting ready to
having
leave. You're running out the
Oh,
door.
Better
Is
go
your
eat.
Uber here?
No, I have to use the restroom. I've
That's
been
right.
drinking a lot of water.
Oh, really? So how long have you been under duress with your bladder? For how long?
About like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. Well, that's okay. I just
If
thought
you
you'd
if
been
you
sitting
hold
there
your
for like
pee,
a-
it'll help you hold your cum longer too. You can fuck for a longer time.
You know, it's amazing
It's
the
true.
insight that you have.
it's the truth.
You know,
If you practice holding that urethra and shit like that
Can
too,
we
you
say
can hold your
goodbye?
cum
'Cause the
longer.
food gonna be
Yes.
cold.
Thank you
Yes.
guys so much. Bless your day. Bless your life. Wash your ass. Brush your teeth.
Teeth,
And we'll see you guys next time.
and
It's the
don't
Unique
drink
and
your
Cheese Show.
urine. Don't drink your urine.
You can put baby urine on your face though to get rid of acne.
I was baiting you. I literally knew you would tell me something else about
But
urine.
it's the truth. You can put
Oh my
baby
God.
piss on your face.
The-
I'm not saying put baby piss on your face, you fucking pedophiles. I'm just saying you can put the diaper.
How do you know
Don't
that
hold the
stuff,
baby
though?
above your head and let the baby pee on your face
How do
like
you
that.
know this?
It's on the internet.
This is all very upsetting.